time it is, buddy?
Fever time.
Yeah, man!
Fire.
Everything that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away. No, 'cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. There's a past that keeps on calling, or if fear keeps you awake, I won't let a scar keep me from your lips. I catch every tear from your face. 'Cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you.
Come on, Mark.
Uh-oh.
It'll draw him in, like a moth to flame.
I am less afraid.
This is for the best.
Help! Help!
Let me adjust the microphone for you. Doctor. How's that?
Have a nice night.
Well?
Oh, what? Now we dance.
Oh, no.
It's not for you. It's for them.
But I have to go.
Now we dance.
What is it you've got running all through your veins? Well, I'm here to tell you, you've got the fever, and it's hard to tame. What is your passion? And babe, Baby, I'll tell you what my pleasure be. Well, it's fever for the showing, be it horror, thrills, or fantasy. They give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we'll burn until we supernova all night long. Keep it coming, we love a good mystery. In the day you can feel it, during the night so hot it'll bring you to your knees. Well, it's fever for the showing, be it horror, thrills, or fantasy. They give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we'll burn until we supernova all night long.
What is up, everyone? Happy Monday to you all, and welcome. We are going to dive into another episode of Yellowjackets. This week's episode number 9 leads us one more step closer to the ending. We are now on the cuffs of the season finale, and what a hell of an episode! I'm happy. I can't wait to talk about it. But and we got some good we got some good father-daughter bonding. We got some good reveals, and Misty on the case, as well as she about to get her case fucking told by Nat too. I can't wait to see what happens in this next episode. Misty, we gonna have some good conversations tonight, guys. I don't know about you, Miss Dana and Mr. James, but I'm fully excited and ready to dive into this week's episode. How you guys doing? What is up?
Good. Ready for this Yellowjackets talk.
Right? We're gonna get some good conversations about, is it still supernatural or not? I think they're throwing in some more things with that. We got the phone, the little pink phone. That was a fun little moment with Ty. I actually enjoyed that. Melissa, Melissa, and Lottie. Now Lottie got some things going on, man. She, we get to see how she outsmarts in her own way. Now how did I forget Travis? I almost forgot that boy's name. But Travis, he was getting a little smart there. I actually like what Travis did. So like I said, we got a lot of good things going on in this episode. What about you, Mr. James? You excited?
I am. I don't know. I guess I'm more excited to hear your excitedness. that most
ready
of
for me to plead the case of Shauna.
Yeah, that most of what you said is playing out.
Maybe a little bit. It just maybe a smidge. We may be on track here. You know what I'm missing? I still need at least one or two more little pieces for the full picture. Like I said, Misty's on the case. She said it best. We're just gonna rely on some good old DNA evidence, or we're gonna try to get the full picture here. And I'm ready to find out that Melissa did it. There, I said it. But let's see who we got hanging out with us tonight before I dive into it. And also, guys, we do have a little poll because we're doing the fan art contest for you guys. So it's on from Yellowjackets and Severance. You know what? With all the great things, I didn't think of a name. So we thought of two little names, and really just the ending of the names is different. So you guys can vote on it. We got Fever Fan Art Frenzy and Fever Fan Art Frolic. So I'm gonna let you guys decide what the name of the contest will be, and we'll get some more information as well in the Discord on that. As far as categories and stuff. So you guys got till I'm gonna get this right this time, Dana. May 9th. At midnight Eastern time is the cutoff for submissions. And you can use any medium that you want other than AI. We're going to leave AI out of this one for now. And so if you do want to do digital art, is fine. Paint, markers, crayons, stick figures, all that's, pencil, pen, all that is great. But we're going to keep AI out of it for now on this contest. Who knows? Maybe if you guys really into AI, if you guys really want some AI art, we can do that like its own little contest or something, or just for fun. But we're going to try to keep that out. So yes, you can participate and submit in the Discord and let us know what kind of medium that you used, how you created it. And let us know if you, because we're going to do 2 categories as far as like amateur, novice, and then if you are more of a advanced or pro level artist. So you let us know which one of those you want to be considered. And yeah, you can pick 1 show, 2 shows, 3 shows, combine them all together, however you would like to do it. Because again, this is for fun. And, a little competition, but, mostly just for fun. Dana's got some goodies to give away for prizes. And after we get all of the submissions and we see how many we got, we'll work out how we're going to kind of like put 2 of you guys up and say which, or 2 to 4 people up, let the chat vote, and we'll see where it falls and who gets to be the top, the second, the third place, all that good stuff. So we can't wait. But yeah, you guys can vote on that. And let's see who we got. We got Mr. Dark Elf hanging out with us tonight. Let's get it, people. Time for some fun. WOT. Y'all know I'm dumb as hell. Y'all got to stop doing
Time. Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time got me tearing up. See, I was like, what in the hell show are we talking about? I'm dumb as hell. Y'all can't do this shit to me. But anyways, he got me tearing
Just been
up.
watching Wheel of Time.
I know. I haven't watched that one yet. That's one that I know a lot of you guys have been watching. What season are they on?
It's 2, and that's his favorite author. So he's got mixed feelings on it.
Okay. As I know, a lot of people were talking about what last year. It was pretty big, and I watched a few episodes, but I never took the time to actually get into it. So maybe that's one we'll have to add to the list at some point. See, we got Mr. Haldir hanging out with us tonight. What's up, hun? Hope you're having an awesome Monday. I see Miss Terry hanging out. Hey, guys. I didn't watch the episode yet, just showing some love. That's awesome. Can't wait to see what you think of this episode. And I'm assuming, at her home as well.
Yes. She is at her home, not my home.
We'll have to get her back over. We miss Terry. In the background,
I know.
you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. You'll hear her in the background, and you're like, what did she say? That's actually pretty good.
She makes for great commentary.
She does. What's up, Patrick T? Welcome, hun. Hope you're having a great night. Great Monday. Yes, that's for you, Dana. All the witches
right.
except Dana. She's cool.
Right. Yep. I got privileges.
Well, what's up, Mr. EJ Wicks? Glad to see you hanging with us tonight. Let's see. I think that is everybody. Everybody's saying, hey, what's up? All right. So we can get that. Let me bring up these screenshots. And was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about as far as promoting anything you got going on? I know, James, you got some stuff with your new channel. I think you just put a video out, didn't you? I know I just saw something popped up.
Yeah, putting stuff up all the time. So if anything, Dana and Scarlett's in some of the videos, so definitely come check us out.
Yeah, that last one was fun, actually.
That was a lot of fun. You got us thinking about stuff.
Right? And then he asked females these questions as if we're not going to have follow-up questions. Like, would you rather? But okay, but what if this and this and that? There was just, you guys got to go check out the video. I'm sure we rambled and made it a lot more complicated than it needed to be.
It was good, though. It was good. Fun.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see what else we can dive into with those. The videos are good. He's got the secondary channel, right?
Yeah, more dead stuff.
I got to make sure I put that link in the description. I got to remember to add that.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I'm doing it now.
I put a little clip on
I'm slow, people.
TWD Explained, but the full video is more dead stuff.
Nice. And what about you, Miss Dana? I'm trying to remember if we have anything else we need to bring. I know Severance rewatch party is going on, and there's a little giveaway during it. We're not going to say when. You guys are going to have to just keep up with the rewatch party to see when you'll get to enter into the giveaway. But I'm trying to plan another one for maybe Tuesday or Wednesday night. this week has just got a little bit more hectic than I planned on, so we might be a little bit behind on the rewatch parties. But if nothing else, then Friday night, either before or after we stream, we'll try to definitely do the rewatch party. Then we're on we're through episode 5 of season 1, so
Yes.
we're gonna get through both seasons and go over all of the goodies that we can find and see what we can figure out for season 3. And then we're going to try to do the same thing for Yellowjackets after it ends, try to go back and rewatch through everything. And Yellowjackets in particular, I really kind of really want to take the time to fully go through episodes, right? Because I feel like there's so much in Yellowjackets and Severance right now where we've caught quite a few things from Miss Jen, the teacher. She is so awesome. We're going to have her back on because her notes are really good. She is very much so reminds me of like a Robert, right? Like very thorough.
Yes.
Great theory crafting. So yeah, we're definitely going to dive into that soon enough as well. And Miss Dana, anything else? I know you got things going on this week as well to check out.
Yes. Thursday night on my channel will be the first discussion of The Last of Us. So we're going to do a nice little recap of season 1 and then get ready for season 2 starting on Sunday, I believe. And then every Thursday night, we'll go over the episodes of season 2. And we're just going to have some fun with The Last of Us. So that's going to start
Nice.
this Thursday with us, and it's going to be fun.
Woo woo. James should be with us. So we'll be.
Yes.
We'll have a pack panel. It'll be fun. I can't wait because I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to binge it and get ready for it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna probably binge it twice.
Rewatching it as I'm like doing my screenshots and like I made some clips, so it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Don't worry, it has a happy ending.
Oh, it does. I love happy endings. I'm sure Yellowjackets is going to have a great happy ending, right? I mean, the lone survivor is going to be Shauna. I already see it. And I picked her. She's my pick. But I finally going to win a Survivor episode. Oh, wait.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the lone survivor's Callie, and she has to take out Mom.
Oh, no.
Oh,
oh no. That would be what
awful.
happens, man. I swear. I loved watching Survivor until every time I picked a Survivor, they kept getting taken out. So I stopped watching Survivor. It's pissing me off. I'm like, no, they were the greatest ones. And then like the person who always would win, I'm like, God damn it, it's bullshit. So nah, I know Shauna gets taken, but she's my pick, yo. Who's y'all's pick as lone survivor if y'all had to pick somebody? I'm actually curious. Who we got? If we had to have a lone survivor.
Ooh. I think it's gonna be Misty. Just because she is so friggin' like gung-ho and she's gonna survive. Like she knows how to survive. So
if it's not Shauna, maybe Ty.
Ooh, yeah.
Misty,
we ain't got too many left, right?
Misty's a good pick too. Misty, she's a fighter.
She is, right? And she's got survival skills more so than any of the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
From her babysitting Red Cross,
Right.
classes that she took twice.
We don't have too many left, right? We got Shauna, Ty, Misty, Melissa, and that's it, right? That we know of.
That we know of so far, yes. And then there's a couple of floaters out there in the wilderness.
The possibles. We got some possibles. We don't know. We'll see. I can't wait to find out if they do another one, because that's going to be wild if they do bring in another cast member like that. But
Team Mari.
She died, man. Y'all, she underestimated. Look, she already showed her cards in this episode again. She underestimating Shauna. Like, Shauna too scared to do it. Okay.
I'm surprised she's lasted this long.
Shauna ain't scared. I think Shauna has more than proven that she is not afraid anymore. Mari need to be careful. Mari gonna end up pit girl. She one step from being in that pit. I'm trying to find Mari's little butt. Where's she at? Here she is. There she is. Mari just doesn't seem like she's the kind of girl that would actually be able to handle herself in any situation. And she cowered so quickly to pressure that I'm like,
She
nah.
did. She did. I had a lot of faith in Mari that first episode when we saw her like really kind of getting down and dirty with Shauna. Like she was kind of standing up to her, but then I don't know, she kind of like crumbled under pressure.
Like even in this episode, how she was like, Shauna ain't gonna do nothing. She's like basically scared. She ain't gonna do shit. And then we see what Shauna like. Really, you think Shauna ain't gonna do something? She just straight shot at Melissa, and she did it with accuracy. Like that was to me like letting her know straight up.
Her boyfriend taught her.
Mm-hmm. That was like a really. I don't want to say like a good shot in the sense like what she did was good, but the shot alone for what its purpose was.
Yeah.
Let her know because, and again, Melissa's been pretty adamant this season up until rescue, right? All for Shauna and Shauna being this badass leader, just kicking ass and everything else. Like she's been about it for a while now. So what's the difference now? Why all of a sudden because remember Shauna put the knife up to her throat. What? I forget which episode that was when she's like stalking Shauna basically. And now like Shauna hasn't changed. What's changed, Melissa? Because she's the one that really pushed between Lottie and Melissa. Shauna would not be in the position she's in right now.
Right. I think the going home thing is what changed Melissa.
A little bit, but then, again, you can't create a monster and expect to turn it off.
Well, I mean, she didn't.
Again, like I was saying to you before, you could also turn that on to Shauna and current day Melissa. Because after now we're seeing Shauna's turn on Melissa. Shauna's very much responsible for, this Melissa as well. So I think they're both responsible for each other. I think they created each other in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Shauna with Melissa and Melissa with Shauna. So it's almost like they feed off each other in a sense. So yeah, Shauna definitely got that boost from Melissa, that that confidence from Melissa that she could be what she's kind of becoming. But now as we're starting to see the torment that Shauna's putting on Melissa, I can see why Melissa is the way she is now. So they're both responsible for each other.
But up until this moment, even the last episode, Melissa was all in her feelings, right? Thinking but Shauna wasn't being mean to her. So Melissa was already all up in her feelings, and she was putting the doubt and the seeds in Shauna's head. And then she's over here kicking it with Hannah. And to be fair, I don't think Shauna's wrong in what she's trying to tell Melissa about Hannah. Like she is manipulating you. She is trying to get you to have sympathy for her so she can escape. And we see that displayed later of how, I'm not saying that Hannah's wrong for what she's doing. I'm just saying I think Shauna's very abrasive right now, but I don't see her as being what she did was wrong and it was really fucking hurtful. But I think that in that moment, if you when you listen to the conversation and what they're talking about and the baby or the child gets brought up, that is a very soft spot for Shauna. Because she even said, "Oh, so you care about that or something? Oh, you have sympathy for her." And then she says it's not a competition, Shauna. She says, "I know it's not," but that probably did really hurt. And I'm not Shauna shouldn't have probably shot at her. She shouldn't have had that stare down with her. But Melissa is she's not innocent.
Yeah, she's not innocent, but Shauna,
she's not.
Shauna backing Lottie and wanting to stay. That's the whole teeter-tottering thing they're standing on right now. Forget everything else. We want to go home, and this chick is a way to do that, maybe.
Yeah. What's up, Debbie? Welcome, hon. And Miss Debbie, but Debbie, you are one of Vic, I think Vic took hers away, but so far you are one of the only ones that has submitted artwork yet. So definitely check out the poll that is in the chat. because it is for the fan art contest. So you guys can let us know what your favorite one is. If we got Fever Fan Art Frenzy and Fever Fan Art Frolic. And we're going to leave that up for a little while so everybody who have a chance to come in and vote. And we got 9 votes so far. You guys are liking the Frenzy. So yeah, Dana, yours, that's Dana's pick. And there you go. You might get the winning pick, Dana. Look at that.
It's just like, it's so fitting to like our life. Like it just best describes. I wish we could do more frolicking and less frenzy, but it never seems to work out that way. So frenzy is just fitting to our daily lives.
Yeah, that's why I like both. Like, honestly, I couldn't pick between the two. I liked both of them. So they say, yeah, well, just let the chat decide. Why not? Hell yeah. I can't decide. I'm terrible at names, so we let you guys pick it. And yes, I agree with you, Miss Debbie. I love Shauna. What a fascinating character. She is so complex. And yes, I 100% agree. Melissa is, she's fucked. Fuck Melissa. I'm sorry. Look, I've been on this Melissa train for fucking since the beginning of the season. I can't help it. This bitch is crazy as fucking hell. And Shauna's got her problems. But I don't think Shauna was crazy beforehand. Like, yes, she dated or was, dating dude behind the back. That's not completely crazy. That's like normal teenage fucking stupid shit. But people like Misty and fucking Lottie and Ty, they were crazy before they entered the woods. And I'm curious how crazy Melissa was prior to entering the woods. I feel like Shauna became crazy because of things that happened, and she's a little bit out of her fucking mind. But again, I don't think she was, it's just like Shauna woke, like she was always crazy. Like she just woke up crazy or something. No, this was like a combination of things over time. Misty was always fucking crazy. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I ramble. Go ahead, James and Danny. Y'all butt in at any point in time.
No, like I just don't think like I know there's a lot of stuff that like screams Melissa is crazy, but even when it comes to the stalking thing, Shauna's not the easiest to approach. So she could have been following Shauna because she didn't know how to approach Shauna at first. And take it what you will. I'm not defending her. She's fucking crazy. What she did is still fucking disgusting after she killed Van and everything like that. I'm not excusing her behavior by any means. But I just think that we have to put some of the responsibility onto Shauna because we're seeing this torment come out of her. And yes, even if Hannah was manipulating her and whatever the case may be, she would have done it to whoever was the person that was standing in that little pen with her at the time, most likely. It just happened to be Melissa. Would she have called anybody else? Oh, you're just fucking stupid. She's borderline almost abusing Melissa in a sense, with just the way she treats her, the way she talks to her, to where yeah, she might have brought out Shauna's little like crazy side and been into it at first, but Shauna's taking things too far in some aspects.
Yeah, she is. And
She's still great. Don't get me wrong. I still love Shauna. She's fucking badass. She's fucking great. Her character is amazing. But I just don't think the blame can just solely go on Melissa.
And no, it's not so much as solely on Melissa, just the fact that like when I rewatched this whole scene here and it was just there's just something about Melissa that I can't put my finger on that I don't trust and how I feel like she manipulates things. And then now she's trying to act like she's this different person. Like, oh, she's innocent. Oh, it's all Shauna. Shauna's crazy. Shauna's the crazy one. But yet she was all about it, right? Is she not the one that, cut Coach's legs? And you say, well, Shauna made it. Shauna didn't make her do that. She was all into it. They ended up going back to
made her do it.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying that would be one of the arguments. Well, Shauna gave her the knife and kind of made her do it, but she didn't really make her do it, right? She was willing to cut Coach's leg or ankles, and not only did she do that, after that, didn't they like go back and Was that the episode where they go back in
that's
the
what I'm
damn
saying.
hut and cuddle and get all
These two
sexual and
girls,
shit?
crazy feeds crazy, and that's what they're doing. Their craziness literally feeds off of each other.
And I would argue that Melissa was drawn to that abuse because, again, at the very beginning of their quote unquote relationship, while she's stalking Shauna, Shauna goes straight up to her. Like, Shauna don't want to have anything to do with her, right? Like, Shauna was being mean to her from the start. Shauna was fine being a loner. She didn't want to have anything to do with the group. She didn't want to be leader. She just wanted to fucking like be off on her own. Melissa brought her back into the fold, so to speak. And only she do that when Shauna put the knife against her throat. Melissa was into it. She's been into the abuse up until this point. She only got mad when she thought that Shauna didn't care about her when she got shot with that arrow. Ever
Okay, so
since
how
then,
much abuse
Melissa's
should
had like
somebody
a
take before they can be like
no,
not
I'm
into
not
it?
saying they're right. Their relationship is totally fucked. But what I'm saying is that Melissa's not innocent. She has fed into this, and this is
No,
what
she's
she's
not.
wanted. So you can't sit there and cry victim when this has been what you've been
But
about
neither
with the
can
relationship.
Shauna.
Which I don't think Shauna is necessarily crying victim. She's just protecting herself and her family at this point because she's, again, we'll see more. Like, we haven't seen everything that's going to happen between the two of them. But as we get more of the pieces, I continue to see Melissa as more of a manipulator than Shauna.
So Lottie, maybe if anybody had a reason to say I'm staying.
Mm-hmm.
Shauna doing that, even if Shauna herself was like, F it, I don't want to go back to the real world. I mean, to me, F her for taking that away from the other girls.
Oh, yeah, Shauna's wrong for that.
And so with that, I think that kind of changes. Like, we're in a different, back in the days where Melissa, Shauna put the knife to her throat, they kissed, she cut the coach's ankle and stuff. I think, we're kind of, we walked from that room into another room now, since they know they could have went home. And then the few girls said, no, we're not. Everybody stay here. You're not leaving. Stay here, Nat. So, I think we're just in a different mindset,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the way it's, Melissa and everybody really, but Shauna's, to me, still, her taking that away from the other girls, that to me in itself is a big, I can't be Team Shauna, kind of.
No, I get it. And that's bad for Shauna too. Like, that surprised me when Shauna did that. I'm still not clear on to why Shauna chose that path. She hasn't completely the only thing I can come up with is the fact that she was worried about Hannah and Kodiak saying things about the group when they went back. Otherwise, and then whatever that weird dream was, I don't know why else. Like, I can't figure out why else Shauna did that, because Shauna to me doesn't seem like, even though she seems crazy, she doesn't seem stupid.
Right.
So to me, there's a reason why Shauna did, and I can't figure that out yet. That's definitely one of those question marks I still have in my notebook on Shauna. Like, I definitely will agree with you guys. Like, what she did there is wrong.
Yeah, and the rest, sorry, but like you say, we don't have all the information yet. So, we hopefully will get some of those answers to some of those questions.
And I'm hoping that Shauna reveals, like, really why she stayed, if it was just a power trip, or if it was, because it could have just been a power trip against Nat at the time, which is really bad, because I always would hope that Shauna was a little bit smarter than that. So I can't figure out why she would, because up until that point, there was something that happened, because that episode it was weird, because up until she saw the moth, she was packing, and yes, she didn't agree with Nat, but she didn't like, I'm trying to think of how to say it. She didn't really push like she did in other situations. Like she completely started packing and like going along with it.
All right. I mean, is it something to do with Jackie? You know,
It was something when Lottie stood up. I don't know what that situation again. There's this. I don't know if it's a weird power struggle between Lottie, Shauna, and Nat that was going on, and she got caught up in it. And like I said, that was a real stupid moment on Shauna's part because she still could have still been in the power above Nat and got out of there and still got rid of Hannah and Kodiak. Like that still could have all been possible, or they could have still dealt with them in some way. I don't know what it is with
because
the
Shauna
Greens.
never believed Lottie. So, you know, surely she's not staying because she thinks Lottie knows best or something, right?
No, and she even kind of told her that too. It's not because I believe it. It was just like she had a bad feeling about it, which is, again, like I said, it was something about that she hasn't revealed. And there's little things like even in this episode when she's raging at Melissa, the conversation when they hit on the kid, there was the way that Shauna took that made me think that was a soft spot for her. Not again, whether she's handling the situation or not right. I'm not saying that, but just what's triggering her. And then abandonment. I think Shauna may have some, because with the baby, the way it happened, and Jackie, and then when Melissa and they're having that little spat, Melissa grabs her blanket and just like walks away from her. She's like where are you going kind of thing. Was very much so of like, you know, she doesn't want to feel like alone or something. It was really weird. Because Melissa, I'm telling you, there's something about Melissa. I cannot put my finger on it, but she knew what to tell her because Melissa was down for keeping them pretty much hostage. Like she was backing Shauna 100% and even feeding into it. Even them ended up staying. She was still backing Shauna. She didn't really get like pissed off until Shauna was getting on to her. And then she's all of a sudden wanting to go to the other team. So I don't know, man. I've been trying to like work through this episode because this one was really good in the sense it shows even more of the characters and why why we are where we are at in the present. But we're still missing a few pieces. There's a few more pieces to get the full picture, like Misty's saying, in the present. And I'm not sure where it's going to fall. But I'm curious because we don't see nothing of Melissa until this season, right?
Right. I don't remember if we see her somewhat in season 2, because I know she is credited for season 2, but she was definitely in the background.
So we have no
She was not
idea
in season 1.
anything about her, right? Other than what we've seen in this season. We don't know how she interacted with others. We don't know if she was a good person, a bad person. We don't know anything. So me just knowing what I know of Melissa from what we've seen, all I've seen is her manipulate Shauna into a relationship, stalk her, and then get mad at Shauna when she didn't think Shauna babied her in the way that she wanted Shauna to baby her. And that's when the breakdown happened between the two of them.
Right. So do you guys think because Melissa was not in season 1 and now she is, and she seems to be a pretty big part of the story, do you think the writers of the show had any idea there'd be a Melissa when they wrote season 1? Or are they kind of making it up?
I don't think they had Melissa in their like sights in season 1. I definitely think she was a character brought in either season, because she was in season 2. If you go to her IMDb listings, she is listed in some of the episodes. So I think she definitely came into play for the writers in season 2.
Right. Because that's a pretty big part. So I'm wondering if like they didn't have the whole story fleshed out, you know, at that point.
They may not
That's
have.
what it seems like.
And that's what I said. I don't know what, because with the show, right? Like they had to get rid of a cast member, right? She chose to not participate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why Melissa came in. Like they needed to
Yeah.
fill
Yeah. Fill in
something
some stuff.
so that there was this other sort of, and I don't know, maybe Melissa was always a part of the story. Maybe Nat was going to be the one that killed everybody, because obviously Nat was, I could see Nat going, her and Shauna, because of the stuff that Shauna and Nat go through in the past. Definitely could see them like going at it throughout. But with Nat gone, maybe they had to bring in Melissa. I don't know. That is a
Right.
good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Because that, I'm assuming that the storyline of Lottie's death and Shauna being fucked with and all that stuff might have been part of the storyline the whole time, but they still needed that question mark person.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, it could have, maybe it was supposed to be Nat, and because I don't know. That is making me think here.
I
What do you
did
guys
watch.
think in the chat?
I
Let's see.
did find an interview with Nat, and can't think of the actor's name, but the talking about leaving and stuff, and she was saying that when she signed on, they didn't really know she was leaving because they wanted to see how it goes. But she's more of a movie person, not a TV series person. And by season 2, she knew that's all she could take, because that's not for her.
Yeah.
Doing TV series. So the way she was talking, they actually knew pretty early on that she was leaving, so they had time to, write that out. So yeah, like you say, it could have been a change because she was leaving. Nat left, the actress. They brought in Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got off subject. Sorry.
No, that's actually really good, because it makes sense. If that's what they needed to do to, like I said, fill in that gap in the story that wasn't necessarily planned. So no, it makes sense. And I would get that, like if you're used to a certain kind of work schedule when it comes to filming and stuff. I imagine a movie is far different than trying to do maybe a TV series. So yeah, that I could understand that.
Yep.
Let's see. Miss Debbie says, Melissa's definitely playing the system. She was only attracted to Shauna's power. I hope we get to see Shauna's home life, parents, etc., that made her feel so invisible and angry. I absolutely agree. Miss Debbie also said, did y'all see how Shauna called the rest of the girls the others? # lost. Yes. And we go and Miss Debbie, I've got another something that made me think of Lost in this episode. As a matter of fact, we'll get out. We'll take a breather on the Shauna Melissa, because I could go all night on that. And let's talk about that at the end of the episode, actually, which we'll pivot to that from this. Okay, actually, this is a perfect pivot, because in this scene here, after Shauna does what she does, the person who comes up to Melissa to sort of help cover up and help get her out of the situation is Van. Again, Van being one of the singular characters that we would think surviving is the best of the group, the most humane, the one that's probably the most good. We see how she is treating Melissa here. And what thanks does she get for that, Dana?
She gets a big old knife in the belly.
Right?
In the heart, actually.
And and I again, I would, if it was just self-defense, I would understand it, because yeah, these girls got you kind of captive, but did these did these girls right here really threaten you too much? Yeah, Shauna did. I mean, you wanted to stab Shauna all day. I kind of understand that Melissa Shauna fight. That's all good. But Van came in here trying to save everybody a little bit, sort of. And you try to kill everybody. Like, Melissa legit was just going to kill them all. That was her way of surviving, I guess. We'll just suck all the oxygen out. And poor little Van, good of heart that she is, she just couldn't do it, right? Even though she's supposed to be the hero of the story. The Goonies, Dana.
The Goonies. Hey, you guys.
Nope, she doesn't do it.
Which the part with the X marks the spot raises another supernatural.
Oh yeah, and we get that X again later. As a matter of fact, I got to remember write down the X thing, and we're gonna come back to that as well. That is a good point, Mr. James, because we see that twice in this episode. I don't know if you caught the other X.
Yeah. There's several little supernatural. Lottie standing on the sticks is my biggest one. Like what?
That
Or
that
what about the
blew
one
my
behind?
fucking mind.
What about the one behind Hannah after she stabs Kodiak and she goes all trippy like? You see the big
Yeah.
X behind her?
Yeah. But I mean,
I don't know. We just talking X's. I'm just
I
saying.
I don't know. It's just this crazy show. It's like it's not supernatural. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't.
Right?
I told you that this show is going to do that to us. I said it's going to give it to us and then it's going to take it away. It's going to give it to us and then it's going to take it away. So this show is going to mind dick us
Fuck us
up
the whole way
until the
through.
very friggin' end.
Right? What's up, Big City and Mr. Omar Glitch? Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm so behind on the season of Yellowjackets. Well, that's okay, man. You catch up when you can. We're gonna do rewatch parties on Yellowjackets as well. We're doing Severance too. We're gonna have another rewatch of the next episodes of Severance. We're on season 1. Did we do episode 5? I think we got through episode 5.
Yes, we are halfway through.
So yeah, always stay with us in the Discord because you never know what we'll be doing. So we'll do the rewatches of Yellowjackets as well.
Yes.
But yes, to get to the Lost reference, this was really good because after all this shady shit went down, this cunt bitch here, fuck Melissa, okay? That's some shady shit. And this bitch go to there say, I can do it, right? Poor fucking Van telling her, I can't do it. Like, I don't want to be that, right? I'm not going to be that. Oh, that's so nice. Guess what? Let me just grab your hand. I can do that. I can be that. And I will give it to the wilderness, right? It's what it wants. And poor Van, we get her in the plane and we get her kind of this weird, this for some reason gave me Lost vibes of their, at the very ending of Lost when we start to see the kind of afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
And Van's young self was talking to her about how this, how is this the end of our story? And kind of there was something, I'm trying to remember the verbatim sentences she said, but how this is, it is and it's not, there's something else to come. That was so weird. That makes me think that we're going to get a Lost moment. Maybe they get to do we get to see them at the end together. There's something, she was almost saying there's something else going to happen. This is not the end. Yeah, right. You're dead, but this is still not the end. And she's like, well, were you going to tell me what it is? Well, what's the fun in that?
And that'll just be crazy as hell if there is something after, because she did seem to insinuate that.
And yes, Fletcher, I not only am I on the team Shauna, not only on team Shauna, I'm completely on the fuck Melissa team. All right, fuck her. She a shady bitch. And we're going to find out more. You missed my whole first rant about it, Fletcher. We was actually I was half-assed taking a break on my rant. And we're getting on with the Lost reference. He almost hit me back on it, man. I'm telling you, I'm full forcing on Melissa.
Don't do it, Fletch. Me and Dana had to hold down Scarlett just a few minutes ago.
Look, I'm saying, man. I can't wait
to
see how the season ends. Sean is terrible, but Melissa's a unholy bitch. Misty with her fucking hanging on to Misty still has the fucking transmitter. So we talking about people keeping us here. Misty. Lottie, her crazy woo, and fucking Ty, she's got 2 persons going on fighting within herself. Making phone calls and shit. And I still don't know if we got the real Ty or not because I question this van right here that we looking at. Is this van a good van? Because she gave her a little dose back in the beginning of the episode, a little something in her pouch to get her going.
Yeah, that's
in order to play this shit out, right? what the fuck
Almost
is
like
up
she
with
was
this
giving
shit?
her like a boost to be able to.
Kind of like the boost that Ty, all that black shit Ty's got going on with her other personalities. Is it showing itself in their younger forms or their other, like we were talking about how it showed itself in other forms? Nat saw it when she died. She saw herself like Misty saw herself when she was at the bar. Is it following them? Is it manipulating them into doing things?
We also
Shauna saw
still
it in.
see.
Shauna saw Jackie.
Yep, and then we also see Nat have that scene before they're about to leave on the plane where she's basically like cursing it out, like you can't have, like, we ain't staying. So it's definitely, I think it is an entity. If it is an entity of some kind, I think it's taking forms for each person. And I still think the man with no eyes still has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Because we already see that he could take other forms, whatever it is, right? Then whatever is going on in the forest with him, we don't know how connected it is. We don't know much about Ty's grandmother, right? I know some of you guys had brought up in the past, like maybe Ty's grandmother has some ties to the forest or whatever this is. Or something's combined. Like it is so, this show is so fucking weird. It is so out there because like they're not connecting those dots yet, or at least nothing that we've been able to fully like put together.
Yep. Just like I think if we are talking about an entity, I think it's what came to Coach in the form of his ex or his boyfriend. I think it comes to Aquila in the form of animals because that's what her connection is. So every time we see these girls kind of have these trippy moments, I think it's the same entity just coming to them in different ways depending on which girl he's going to.
Mm-hmm. In particular, how this, when Van's seeing her younger self, we get her putting the needle in here. She gives her the whole Goonies story. X marks the spot. You got to go be the hero. And at the end, she tells her how she got the greatest treasure of all. She saved her love, right? Do we know? We're going to find out, I'm hoping, in the next episode, which Ty really came out. Because we didn't get to really see, did we?
No.
We get Ty for a very brief moment. And I believe towards that ending, before she dies, Ty had this smile on her face that is slightly similar to the one that we get when Ty's her other self. Let me see if I took a picture of it. Oh man, I didn't get it. I have to go back and make sure I get it because there was, wait, here it is. I just didn't trust the smile. I don't know because we don't know which Ty won. And I do love how they use this pink, like old school phone, which is showing that this is what she used to call Van back in the that episode. So that's real. So it has maybe all of that is starting to point to the supernatural, right?
Isn't that a different phone?
It is a different phone, but what I'm saying is like she called her.
That
She
same
legit
see-through.
She
Like
legit
90s
called her
phone.
like this is the connection for
Right.
whatever the supernatural thing. Like she legit called her. Like that's what it felt like now, seeing this phone inside of Ty like that. It was so weird. Like she's been calling out to her. This is how she gets to call out, right? Like they use this as if both when she was knocked out, whether it was good Ty or bad Ty, had to get to this phone in order to reach out.
Right.
So when Ty was maybe passed out or something or not fully herself, maybe this is a way that she's using to kind of like reach out. I don't know. It was just really weird. It made me think back to that episode when Van answered the phone.
Interesting.
Entity is fun to say. Entity, what's up, Unhinged? Welcome, hun. Hope you're having a great Monday. And yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Look, I get real personal about Shauna in the Melissa situation. Yeah, Shauna has no motives but destruction. That is quite possibly true. Let's see. Fletcher says we can't forget man with no eyes being attached to Ty since she was a kid. Absolutely, and even back to her grandmother. So what could that mean? Let's see. Dark Elf says it's all Crystal. She's the ancient entity watch, and we won't find out Wait, y'all gotta stop with the. Y'all know I'm dumb as hell. I already told you this dark elf. Everyone dead, but Misty and Crystal will pop out. Like, got a secret, and it's a big one. Misty, Misty about to get her ass handed to her. I hope she gets popped a little bit. Can Misty get popped a
Yes.
little bit in the past? Just I ain't saying kill her,
Miguel-
because
Popped.
No, Miguel's got this theory about Crystal. He thinks that she's like this ancient, like she's the entity, and that even though all the girls were able to see her and like do stuff, that she's gonna pop out at the end. Because remember, Misty, they were like sharing secrets, and she's gonna pop out like, "I have a secret, Misty," because that's what they like kind of happened before she fell off the cliff with Misty.
it could be. I mean, we have no idea what happened to Crystal, other than that she fell off and she was supposedly dead. Otherwise, we've never found the body, so we don't know. Maybe it possessed her. She's walking around and she did it. I don't know. It is possible. Let's see. Fletcher says, I wonder if Todd dies. The man with no eyes possesses her kid, Sammy. Yeah, and what's up with Sammy? He definitely knows that there's something up with Mom. So maybe again, we only have one episode left, so wonder how they're going to wrap or give us our season finale to wrap it up, and what they're going to leave our cliffhanger with. Let's see. Fletcher says, do we know anything about Ty's parents? We only saw her grandma, right? Yeah, and I don't think we get to know much about their parents, other than maybe that Nat had a rough home life, right?
Yep.
Lottie, we get to know a little bit about Lottie.
Shauna and what's her name's Jackie's parents
Mm-hmm.
at the brunch from hell.
See, Fletcher says, while Ty wrestling against good Ty in the Upside Down universe was fun to see. Wonder if we get that on Severance with any Mark and Outie Mark. Yeah, this was really cool because it was almost like they were back in the caves or something, right? Or that's what it looked like to me. And with her being passed out, right? Just like when they were in the caves and they had the gas, not quite the same, but in the sense that, that they're kind of in a different headspace now, right? The lack of oxygen. So it was just weird to see her in that. And they almost chose like the cave background. And she's fighting with herself. And she basically but it's weird because the way she's talking to it is, I don't know if she's aware that it's like a possession or just another version of herself. I don't know. It was an interesting scene though, because she did straight up grab her ass up. But which one won? Which one actually got to the phone data? James, do you think we got the real tie back? Chat, what do you guys think?
Maybe for a minute. I mean, I think she goes in and out more than maybe we think she does. Like there for an episode or two, I thought she's turned all the way to bad Ty, but I think she definitely is going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there for a minute, she seemed like she couldn't get control back. And then maybe, I don't know, something happened where she was able to, I guess. It's really weird. They're not letting us know. I mean, Van seemed to know. And now with her being dead, the girls, they don't know that Ty is really going through this, right?
Right.
So that's something. But we got some good moments, right? So, get a good father-daughter moment in this episode. I thought was interesting and fun. Mostly because of the fact that, when Dad comes up and sees it, I gotta go way back. Way, way back. Keep going back. He's all like, those nugs are too big. You have to grind them down a little bit more. He just wasn't. She got to do a little bit better. Hang on, I went too far, didn't I? Again, one of the downsides to having a million screenshots. Thank you guys for your patience. Here we go. I took a lot of the Melissa and Shauna and all, I had to have all of the angles. Here we go. But yeah, this was fun, Dad's excited. He got the job. I told y'all he was going to get that job. See, I knew he was going to get it. They was going to he's a smart man and he's very personable, right? Probably the only good character we have left. That's not really good for him. Oh, is he marked? I feel like all the people who are somewhat decent don't survive for sure. I mean, bad people don't survive either, but the good guys, they just... Is there any good guys left other than him? If we had good guys?
The owner of the door factory. No, that's Severance. Sorry, wrong show.
Yep. I know I do that shit. Hey, look, that happens when you're watching two at the same time, man. It'll get you.
No, I don't think there's any good dudes that we've met as a character. Like I say, Jeff's about it, and he's not great. He's just better than everybody else.
That's bad when you're the best of the worst. Everybody's pretty much crap, but yeah, I get you're pretty good, man. But I love it. He's like, why are you rolling a joint? Well, yeah, I can't find my pipe. And then Dad, gives her some advice. You got to grind it up a little bit more. And I love what they use for the grinder. He's a cheese grater. He's great. Just go in the kitchen, get you a little grater.
When you don't have the real thing.
I know, right? It was so smart. I'm like, damn, hell yeah.
That is very smart.
I know that. I was like, damn, makes me wonder. He knows he's a little bit more loose than we think he is. He knows what's up. He trying to play all straight shooter. Look at it. He was getting down, yo.
And he was smoking that shit like a pro. There's a filter in that joint and everything.
Right? You're like, I can handle it. And Fletcher says that Ty goes in and out. Yeah, she definitely does. And Fletcher says, why was Callie smoking? Is she stressed? Maybe because she has something to do with Lottie's death. Maybe. I think and she definitely still could. She is definitely a possible suspect. I wonder if it's because she's worried about Mom and thinks Mom is crazy, but not crazy, but like Mom's got a lot going on from what happened with her, so she's, a little off her rocker. But they don't know everything that's going on right now, so I can't wait till all the characters get together, get to fill in, because again, supposedly Melissa sent a letter with this tape. There has been no letter that has popped off. That's suspicious as fuck.
She probably lied at this point. It seems like she's probably
why
lied
send the
about
tape at all then?
Well, maybe because of what she said, but maybe that's some manipulation as well, when we've still yet to find that out. But Callie, what if Callie's the one on the phone that Melissa, Misty sees? It could be Callie or Jeff. Either one. Both of those still could be the one that killed Lottie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be, but we got Melissa has faked her death, and now she's done took out Van.
Yeah, there's something definitely up with Melissa.
So things ain't adding up.
Which was funny as heck.
I still think Melissa's working with someone though.
When Misty was like, Melissa, go back. And then
she goes and gets the tire iron from the car.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know how you're alive, but you're about to be dead again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was good too, because we wondered who it was going to be, right? And the way she was running, I knew it had to be somebody she was running away from.
Yeah, I bet Melissa was like shitting bricks when she realized, wait a minute, that's Melissa Van and Ty. Misty Van and Ty. Holy shit.
Right?
Like, they're out to get me.
See? We also got to give it to Misty, because when Shauna was going on her rant about all this stuff, she's like, my God, you're still talking. The freezer was me. I thought you needed to cool off.
See, they do that little shit.
Dying.
That little shit like that to throw us off too, as far as we were theorizing and taking that into consideration, and it was Misty the whole time.
Yeah. Well, Walter's acting strange. This was good though. This was a really good moment. Yeah, they definitely straight pulled up on her like, the fuck, you're alive? But she took off. Look, this girl's she's going like commando in some sense. I just don't trust her. But yeah, they straight pulled up on her. And where the hell? Yeah, where the hell you going? You get that bitch.
See, Melissa is the victim here. Can't you
Melissa ain't
see?
the victim. Hell no, she ain't the victim. She been stalking them.
We're good, man. So how you been?
Nah, man, because
Like,
again,
these girls are
lest
so
we
awkward,
forget,
but it's great.
little Miss Melissa's been keeping up with everybody too while she fakes her death. And the way she talks to everybody and the look in her eyes, how she changes her expressions too. Because again, these shows make sure to point out that kind of shit. I just, But my favorite moment, since we still own this shit, let me see if I can find it. I want to say it's somewhere. Let's see. It might be just past this, a little bit. Yeah, here it is. Ah, all right. When they bring up that, what happened back in the day with Shauna and her little, accidental murder. Again, I don't think she meant to murder dude, but they said his name. And I love how Shauna said,
now we're going to have to kill her.
She say you just dug her grave. You know that? Hell yeah, Shauna, tell him. Get you fucking don't tell Melissa shit. This bitch has already been stalking the fuck out of her.
That was great. That was a great line.
I was like, yes, Shauna, tell that bitch. Sorry. I don't like Melissa. I make no bones about it.
Something's up with her for sure, but I mean, it's like we were saying. It's like these are all bad people, and you just gotta kind of pick and choose at this point because they ain't no good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Walter maybe, but it may be a big twist. Yeah, he's questionable, right?
This episode in particular, I didn't really completely question Walter too much. I kind of thought he was just, strange, but not like bad. But no, whatever he's got going on is actually further down. With Misty was weird in this episode. How he come up with a damn helicopter talking about he rented that shit. Where the fuck did you get a goddamn helicopter? You just renting and you coming out in the middle of no fucking where and shit.
A friend owed him a favor.
Yeah, bullshit. Now I just don't trust him now. He's just coming off a little bit too.
Because of the helicopter?
That was questionable. Then let's see, where was it? Did I go too far? Here it is. And then this conversation here, as she's trying to say, she's telling him about, I don't know if it's Shauna, because Shauna's story about she checked into the cat, right? And it checks out. So she's like, the DNA evidence, I get that, but something's missing. Like even Misty is in her gut, the same gut feeling I have that somebody maybe setting Shauna. It's just something ain't adding up right here. We got to get the full picture. See, I don't like Misty fully, but she's smart enough to know that there's something missing here. And his little ass didn't want to get on track with that. He's so fucking on Shauna, like Melissa's on Shauna, like they trying to frame her ass, that he didn't even like the fact that she brought up the cloning of Lottie's phone. He was all like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. So he didn't want to give up the phone. What's on the phone?
He put it there on purpose, just so she would take it and look at it, I think, kind of.
Why would he not go ahead? Like if that picture on the phone is something to make Misty go crazy, why would he have not already revealed it?
Well, I think he's kind of playing her in a way, not in a bad way, but in the way of like with the garbage
he wouldn't recognize.
With the garbage, he's kind of playing with her a little bit. Like, okay, here's the phone. I'm gonna walk away and do this little sprinkle thing, knowing she would look at it. I mean, of course.
Look, Fletcher, she was not going to kill her. They were having diplomatic discussions at the table. They both had knives. They had set their knives down. Melissa grabbed the knife first to stab, in my opinion. That's the way I remember it happening. And yeah, you tell somebody like Melissa too much information, they just dug her grave. I agree. And now that she done killed Van, she gonna go 6 feet more. She could be 12 feet deep in the ground as far as I'm concerned. Van did not deserve that. Sorry, chat got me back to a little bit.
I know, between Shauna and Ty, Melissa's totally effed.
Oh yeah, if not Shauna, I'm sorry, Ty. That's it. She's dead just by Ty's means.
Yeah, she don't know who she just effed with.
I like how you guys. Yeah, Callie's still on the suspect list. I don't at this point think it's Callie because I'm really like hung up on Melissa, but I could still see it being Callie. Not intentional death, so much more of an accidental thing, maybe. But who knows? Callie's a wild card as well. Yeah, Spectre, welcome, Spectre. He says, yeah, Ty gonna tear her apart.
For sure.
And Melissa ran out of the house where she just killed a lady. I mean, truly the cops have got, has got to come and stuff and all of that. And it'll play out where her wife finds out. And, maybe even the cops even know and is now looking for, will they tell the cops if Shauna them talks to the cops? I mean, how will all that play out?
Mm-hmm. And Fletcher, she didn't make her eat her own skin until after she tried to stab Shauna. That they didn't start fighting. No, it was going to be cool. I think Shauna wanted to just talk to her. As a matter of fact, she wasn't even there to talk to Melissa. It was she found out Melissa sent the tape, and Melissa lied about the letter. Where's this letter, Fletcher? Where the letter at, man? I want to see this letter. I need the letter receipts. I'm putting letter receipts down in my notebook so I don't remember that letter receipt. Will you find the letter for me so I can find? Then I might turn my tables on Shauna. I'm just saying. Look, Patrick, it's a wild ass show. All right, look, I got the images of that shit too, actually. We'll go to that. I'm down. See where we at. Back towards the beginning. There we go. Yeah, this. All right, So this chick tried to stab her. And she didn't, she wasn't gonna let her stab her. They got in a fight, and she kind of bit her arm and ripped some skin off. It happens in the middle of a fight. You gotta let somebody know what's up. And this chick here has been playing. She's been playing some games, and she told her to eat it. And so she made her. To be fair, she didn't completely. She kind of chewed it. She didn't really swallow it. She spit it back in Shauna's face. To be fair, but she did. There it is. See, she made her. And then
Shauna was liking it. Like, yeah, eat that skin. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, that's what you get, bitch. You try to stab me and kill me. You haunted my family. That's what you get. Yeah. In other words, Melissa fucked around and she found out, right? And then she kind of tried to kick Shauna's ass again. And Shauna grabbed her by the hair. She ripped a little bit out. And, the pursuit was kind of led a little bit. And she threw the jam at her.
Man.
I think it's blackberry jam or cherry. I can't tell.
Melissa's wife's going to be pissed.
To be fair, she was, she was going after somebody who was going after her family. I mean, you don't really kind of fuck around. And again, all right, so Melissa knew somebody's in the house, but she didn't notice Shauna sleeping outside overnight. I still question that whole day. The whole day of events was questionable at best. Right, Debbie? See, Debbie she on my team with it. Me and Debbie, we team Shauna. To tell her, Debbie, hashtag team Shauna. She's what's up.
I'm just telling you, they're all batshit crazy.
Yes, and Unhinged says blackberry preserves are the best. Yeah, this is probably the biggest crime of the day. I will say I feel bad that I wish Shauna had grabbed a different one because I think it might be blackberry. And they probably were they look like expensive, jar of preserves or jam or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And I always that's the only thing I really get mad at Shauna. You don't waste good food. Which Shauna was never wasteful, right? I mean, they ate everything, including Coach.
Poor Coach.
Yeah, Jackie was an asshole. Agreed. 100%.
Poor Coach.
Right? Like we're gonna try to act like it's Shauna. No, she did. I'm all up. See, Debbie got it. Debbie's on. She's totally. We on the same track with this. It's all good. What's up, Forever Autumn? Welcome, hun. Welcome. Yeah, see, that's the only thing that upset me about Shauna. She could have threw the grape jelly or one, the Walmart Great Value brand shit. That might have actually like hit her because it bounced, so it would have like bounced around the corner and popped her in the back of the head. But anyways, see what she's saying. Well, no, Melissa wasn't just an asshole. Melissa, like, it was straight stalking them and stuff. And if it turns out Melissa killed Lottie, let's see, Melissa's killed Van. And we don't know what else Melissa's been doing. What if Melissa was there and she's the one that actually killed Travis? When it's all said and done.
I said that. I've agreed with that. Or maybe not even so much Melissa, whoever is kind of pulling Melissa's little puppet strings. Because I still
Fletcher says, "Day to speak up. He needs you to take his place." He needs the other argument.
Nico's being very needy, so I'm trying very hard to pay attention and make sure Nico doesn't squeak her toys and bark in the background. So I apologize. But yes, I don't. Let me just say this real quick because I was saying it before, Fletch. I said it. I still think Shauna is just as responsible for Melissa as much as Melissa is responsible for Shauna. I don't think Melissa's smart enough to be the mastermind of this whole situation. I still think there's somebody pulling Melissa's strings. And even this episode with what Shauna did to Melissa, regardless, even if somebody is into it or however you want, like she was okay with certain things, there still comes a point in time what Shauna did to Melissa there with the whole shotgun, making her piss herself. Not cool. Not cool. So Shauna gotta take responsibility. She might have made Melissa more crazy than what she actually is by provoking her too.
I got the gunshot. There you go. I got the pew. Look, see, she did it.
Pew, and her eyes are closed. Pew.
Dude, that was a hell of a shot. All right, no, and I'm not. No, Jackie doesn't deserve. She's an asshole. She doesn't necessarily deserve to die and be eaten. But I don't think anybody, like, I don't think Shauna particularly was like trying to make Jackie stay outside where she would freeze to death.
No, that I don't think those girls knew how cold it was going to get. While she was asleep for the fire to go out, but I'm sorry, nobody would have threw me out of that cabin. I would be like, fuck y'all, I'm going to sit over here in this corner. Y'all just leave me alone. Don't say nothing to me, and we'll be good.
I don't think they planned on eating Jackie either. That's kind of like, that was one of them weird, again, they were out of their fucking mind.
They were so hungry that the smell that came from Jackie literally enticed them. Now, Coach, on the other hand, they meant to eat that motherfucker.
They had a feast. Coach feast.
Yeah, they did eat Coach.
And he was the bridge home, man.
Well, I guess in a way he is, because now they got all the pieces that they need and no witnesses by the end of this.
Do you guys think that situation would have gone differently had Coach been alive?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would have.
I don't know. Would it have? Because then they would have still been worried about Coach saying something. Might have even more so made them want to kill him.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. It's possible because those girls are crazy.
Know what I'm saying? Lottie out of her goddamn mind. She intuitive as fuck though. Check this shit out, man. She totally knew how to sense. The little trap here Travis put down.
This bugged me out.
Like she knew what
This
was up.
actually bugged me out.
So Lottie was spying on Travis when he did that, and when he went away back to camp, she come over and laid down a board, knowing she could walk on it later.
Deception.
Cause that was just
Again, giving us that here's a little bit of supernatural for you, and then watch, come to find out, yeah, it was some shit like that. Somebody put down a fucking board.
But I mean, to me, it's like, what does that? I mean, I guess it proves that she's connected or whatever, but
Proves that she heard that snap when she walked up to that shit. And the Lottie on some shit, man. I don't know. Because she was like, she heard the little snap of the twigs, and then she kind of gave him a look. And I was like, oh shit, dude. You got caught. You're caught. Abort. Because he was even like, oh shit, I didn't do it. And she's like, it's okay, Travis. It's always like this look she has, like, it's okay, Travis. I understand. You're fucked.
Yeah, like you can't tell me that even like she wasn't heavy enough or not. That it was literally just some fucking twigs and shit covering that shit. Anything, a fucking rabbit would have fell through that shit.
I don't think she fully walked on it though. That's what I'm saying. I think she got up to like the edge of it, I thought. And it was like she heard a little snap, and so she was like, nah, maybe was it that she actually walked on it?
yeah, I think she walked on it for
I
sure.
think she walked on it.
Okay. Because I know he built it. All right.
Which is the question, right? That it's this one of the several things that adds to is it supernatural or not? And this scene makes it lean a little bit more toward the supernatural, like some of the other things that happened.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get a good shot to know exactly like the placement, because I know it was somewhere around up in here, but I thought she got up to like this point, like right up to the edge, and she heard like the snap, and then she like turned around and he was like, I didn't do it. I'm about to go back and check. I wonder if she actually did step on it. That's cool, because I didn't notice that she did.
She might not have. I thought she did, and I thought his reaction was because of that.
That could have been. I could have I totally could have misread that.
But I haven't watched it a second time, so you could be correct as well.
No, you guys could be right, because I was like watching it, but I couldn't tell if she actually stepped on it or not. But if you guys said she did, then hell yeah, then that's
Right,
even creepier.
Yeah, suddenly laws of physics were out the window.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting then. See, Fletcher says you need more impact for it to break, like a log that Travis threw, or a girl running like Pit Girl. Lottie was slow walking. Okay, that could have been it. Yeah, because he did throw the...
Possibly, but she weighs more than all them twigs. There's no way that even of those twigs all put together would be able to hold her weight.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, the scene was...
This is definitely a supernatural nod.
Yeah, that was part of the reason, like, on the one hand, Travis was going to kill her because she wanted to stay, and she effed everything up, in that moment. So he's like, if I get rid of you, maybe we can go home, And it's like Jesus walking on the water or whatever. She's like, no, Travis, I'm your Jesus here, and I'm going to show you I can walk on water. And that kind of how it played out, it seems like, anyway.
Oh, I like it because it goes again back into what's real or not really going on here, supernatural, or she just fake him out. She just happened to get lucky again. I don't know. Debbie says, I think she walked on it. So yeah, if she walked on it, then that's even more creepy. Wherever Autumn...
Hannah's deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hannah really stuck with me this episode.
Oh,
I think she's going to become their... I wouldn't be shocked now if it does end up really kind of working her way in, and what if she becomes Antler Queen? We never see the person under it. Just because we've seen Lottie and like what seemed to be an image with it on doesn't make Lottie Antler Queen. Because we
Yeah.
can see Antler Queen like come to Lottie in current time in whatever fashion you want to call it, psychosis, supernatural, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what role Hannah's going to play moving forward.
I am too. And real quick, Forever Autumn says maybe it's similar to when people walk on coals. Like if you walk the right way, you don't get burnt. And that definitely could be. She could have just been able to walk across it in such a way so that she doesn't fall through, or at least that's the way the show is wanting it to be, so that it leaves it in between that supernatural or possible, like, physics way of it being explained. Definitely a possibility. Fletcher says Antler Queen is probably Wild Tie. Yeah, we don't know who truly is going to be Antler Queen. I still vote for Lottie, but it still hasn't been confirmed who it is. So yeah, it could definitely be. I mean, it could be Hannah. I still kind of see Hannah as Pit Girl, her or Mari, but that doesn't. Nothing's confirmed yet. That's just my opinion. So yeah, definitely she could be working her way up. I mean, Hannah's a wild card now. Like, all right, when we first see Hannah, now looking back from what we know now, her little acting skills are starting to come in full effect, right? Like she totally played her little boyfriend over Kodiak a little bit. Like that, all those scenes of how she was basically blatantly kind of flirting with Kodiak and stuff kind of makes me think like she's a little manipulator herself here. She knows what she's doing too. And yeah, one could say it's for survival, but did she have to do that for survival? It seems more like her conversation with Melissa earlier kind of lets us know that she's seeing this as a scientific sort of thing and she's into it. Like she's wanting to be part of the experiment. Like she's seeing this as an experiment, so she doesn't see it. Hang on, I went too far. The darker images are harder to see where we're at, but here we go. So yeah, I don't know, Melissa, or not Melissa, but Hannah's really, yeah, she's definitely one to kind of watch going forward. She didn't have to do that, but it also, I think she may have done it to show Shauna, like, look, I'm one of you guys now. I have something that I did to prove myself that I won't go back and say something. Don't kill me. So it could be that, right?
True.
Yeah, I've done something too, so now we're equal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you have something on me now. So 50-50 split.
But that was just the look in her eyes after she did it, and there's the X behind her. That was just weird. I mean, it was creepy, and it's not like it creeped me out, but creepy in the sense that she had this weird, like, I don't know. It didn't seem like trauma, like she was the same way Nat was after she stabbed Coach, right? She walked out and dropped the knife, and she was just in complete, like, shock. This was like she felt some sort of power from it in a creepy way. I don't even know the words to describe it. It was completely different from like the way Nat felt trauma from having to stab somebody. I don't know if you guys picked up on that or not.
Yeah. She didn't see excitement or joy in it like we've seen some of these other girls react to when they're put in these similar types of situations.
But it was weird because she just, I don't know, she had this blank look on her face, but it wasn't like trauma, like I said, like Natalie felt. Natalie was in tears. Natalie, was kind of just walking like she was in a fog. This was like, trying to think of how to describe it. It was different. It was like she was taken over for a second, but not quite possession. I wouldn't put it to that degree. I don't know. I have to find the words, but it was something about it was really interesting.
Her inner serial killer came out.
Right? Like it was just this total change of like Psycho came out of Hannah a little bit. Like oh, I'm so scared, don't kill me, to this cold, dead stare of just let me be a part of this. While she, like, I don't know, it was trippy as hell. What about you, James? What is your take on this situation?
It could totally 110% be exactly as you said. Or it could be as Spectre just put in the chat, survival to see her kid. And she could be just playing a part of, it's like if you're laying there tied up in the goat pen and, Cody's there and you're trying to figure out what are my moves, like I think it was the Marvel movie Endgame where Doctor Strange went through the zillion ways everything could play out, and they only won in one of them, right? So she's sitting there playing all these moves out in her head, and she only wins or could win one way, and that's if she shows them that she's, she's going to do something that they could go back to the real world and tell on her, because that's what they have on her as far as she could tell on them. So it could just be a survival strategy.
It could be, definitely. I can't wait to see where Miss Hannah's gonna fall with that. Is it just pure survival? And again, about her story about her kid, when we first heard about the kid, didn't Shauna say, and I could be mistaken, because didn't she say they were like, she didn't really have her kid or something? I thought her daughter, she wasn't with her or something like that. Or did I misremember that?
Do you mean like she didn't have custody of her or something?
Yeah, I thought maybe her daughter, like, because it wasn't mentioned. Was it mentioned in her obituary that she had a daughter? Because remember, didn't Shauna say she didn't even know about a daughter? She had to go she found out about the daughter through the obituary or something or through records or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I know what you're talking about. It does seem like there was something like that.
It was a teen pregnancy. And I'm trying to remember, because there was something, me and Dana were talking before that, and I was thinking that there was something off about Hannah and how she talked to Melissa, and then how she did all this. And yes, she was using the daughter as a way to kind of pull at the heartstrings. But then I was like, well, wait, was she estranged from her daughter, or did she? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the kid was adopted out, right? So she didn't even really get to go, like, it's not like she had contact with her daughter. She was out doing, she was because she was with the other guy. Remember, she was with the other researcher. I don't even know if he knew that she had a daughter. Because she was
it was the researcher's daughter.
No, it wasn't his daughter, but I'm saying, like, I don't even think her playing up the daughter thing, I don't even think he knew she had a daughter. Like, I don't think it was a thing that she talked about, or if she even saw her daughter outside in the real world.
We're going to have to go back now and read that obituary.
Yeah, it was something, though. It was something.
So that's why I'm like, Hannah's definitely a wild card now, because she's using certain things, again, as manipulation, which I understand for survival. But, I don't know. Does she really think her chances are better killing off Kodiak?
Yeah, seems that way.
I don't know. Does she make it out, though?
It doesn't seem that way.
Oh, okay. because now she's in with it, right? Like, and not to mention the fact when she talked to Melissa, again, it goes into how much you're going to believe what she's saying, right? And how much of it is her just saying things maybe to garner some kind of like trust amongst the girls. But when she was talking to Melissa about, you know, this is probably on a scientific level, one of the most interesting researches into survival, even next to the frogs. And that she kind of wants to be a part of that now and towards the end of the episode. So again, I don't know. Hannah's definitely a wild card. Yeah, Melissa marrying Hannah's kid again. That's another red flag. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's fucking weird. I'm not. Nobody could argue with that. That's not fucking weird.
So again, we got a lot of question mark things going on here. And they're kind of revealing it. Again, I love how the episodes reveal sort of, we get to see what's going on in the present, but then they reveal something in the past that sort of ties into the present, or reveals something about the characters to explain or sort of give more insight on why we are where we are in the present. And I feel like they kind of continuously do that, which makes us do that back and forth, kind of not knowing where we are with things. But it still is really, I think, so far good storytelling as far, you know, and keeping us
For sure.
going with all the suspense on what's going to happen next.
Do we have a trailer? I'm just curious.
I did not look up to see if there was one, actually.
There is one.
Oh, I'll have to check it out in a minute then.
I'll try to grab a link. Let's see here.
Nice.
Trailer.
But
This is it. This is episode 10. It's the banger. It's the final. It's, you know, I think, what was the name of the episode?
Oh, I don't remember.
Damn it. And it was something good too.
But this was probably like one of my favorite out of all the whole episode, which had lots of good moments in it. There was something about this moment for Miss Natalie that I don't know, I really liked or liked as far as a moment in the episode. Sort of as that dread and, you know, the doom of when, you know, knowing that they're not going to make it home and everything's kind of setting in with Nat. They make sure to show that winter is also setting in. And winter has started as the snow falls, and it really hits her, right? Like, it's because they don't want to go through another winter. They know what happened, no matter what they think and how good they are. They know this is not going to be nice. It's going to get worse. And it sets in for Natalie, and the scene itself was just, I just really liked it. Just how the show was showing it with the snowfall. And then even though she's in this sort of dread right here, you know, in this doom and gloom, over here you still see a little, it's misty with the light, but it was just, for me, it was like the light was kind of like a little glimmer of hope that for survival still, because not like misty is the hope, but just the way the show is sort of showing out a scene, because when she follows her, they do, again, we still see this doom and gloom around her and the sadness, and she's going to be quite irritated with Misty, but I think this is how they're going to get out. So it's like Misty's little light was the hope that leads to their sort of escape in the end, because I'm assuming this is what is going to get them out. Some point they're going to get to a spot where they're going to be able to use the little radio thing they had, or the phone, in order to call out. Of course, after Hannah and everybody else that's going to talk is probably dead and gone, they'll be able to get a message out. So it was really an interesting moment and scene to see as winter sets in and all this is hitting Natalie, but there's still a little bit of hope there. Still a little bit.
I wonder if Misty can lie her way out of it. Like, it was damaged in the crash, and I just kept it hoping, you know, something.
That's all she can say without Natalie absolutely just, I think Natalie would have ripped her to shreds if she doesn't say anything else.
How the story ends, says Spectre, is, I'm sure, is the last episode.
No, full circle.
Oh, this one's how the story ends.
This one is how the story ends.
Okay, the next one is full circle.
Full circle.
Forever Autumn says that moment was heartbreaking for that. And it was. Like I said, the whole episode was great. And I loved all the other stuff. Y'all know I can go all day about Melissa, Shauna, and all the other crazy stuff. But I love this moment and how the show displayed it for Nat with with winter, setting in, and then them finding Nat with the antenna for the phone, sort of like it was just this. I don't know. I liked it. It was a good little moment in the episode. One of my favorites.
Well, we know they get home. Now we just this was a way home for them, but it's going to be interesting to see what the real way home is. Like, how did they really get rescued? If this wasn't it, then is it people who are coming to look for the missing researchers? Do they finally get the phone up and running? And even though they get a message out, it still takes them a few months to get to them. Like, I am curious to see what finally brings them home. But with this being now the end of season 3, how many more? I think we're going to probably get 2 more seasons, and then they're going to
at most. Yeah, I would say 2 more at most. Definitely 1 more, and then maybe a 5th to close out, depending on what they get through with season 4.
What do you think, James? You think we'll get 1 or 2 more seasons?
It's hard to see 2, but it very well could be. There's a lot of things that could happen as far as some crazy ass shit like Van saying there's something else after death, and if we go there, I guess they could go some crazy ways, but now that it's down to just, they went through a bunch of characters, so it's almost like how, could you stretch that 2 more seasons? It depends on where the story goes, but I know it's got to be 1, of course, but I don't know.
And I would think, like with winter setting in, it's not going to be easy to get a signal out, right? Depending on the weather during that day. Because remember when the scientists and stuff were trying to use it, it was raining out. They had to wait till they can get to like a certain spot in order to really get a signal, right? So imagine even if they fix it, it's going to be one of the things where there's going to be a little bit of trial and error. They're going to have to wait for a good day to do it on, right?
And are they trying to hide it from Shauna
and Lottie? Absolutely. So yeah, are they gonna find a way to manipulate them to think this is the way home?
Misty seems like she's Team Shauna in the past. She's kind of like, she said, "I'll spy on the others," and Shauna's like, "Yeah." So she's like, "I want to look good to that side," But depends on the conversation I guess her and Nat has in the next few minutes after Nat catches her.
This is their 4 quarters in a soccer game. And they says
no, there's 3.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, and now we know something, Miss Dana. How about that? There you go. You got to fit it in. So yeah, I don't know.
Soccer was my sport. That's like the one sport I played.
There's a few more things I want to remember to touch on before we get into looking at the trailer. Again, this was just really heartbreaking for Van, and yeah, she's definitely gonna get. They go get them some. But what I thought was, go ahead.
What Melissa gets now is what Melissa's gonna get. Like you're on your own there, Chickie. I could give you a little bit of defense up until that moment, but now I got nothing for you.
Right? And this was interesting. Not that it matters, and it's kind of blurry over here. But is this always on airplanes? It's like a gun, a biohazard, and some other symbols, but they don't look like they're X'd out, like not allowed. They're just kind of up there.
I didn't see those.
It's a blurry image because, like I said, it's over to the side, and this was the image I got, and I tried to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
But I'm not on too many airplanes, so I don't know if this is
either
something that's common on an airplane or this. It made me think of the symbols. Like as soon as it caught my eye, I was like, "The fuck are they doing? An evil symbol thing? What the hell is going on with this?" But then I'm like, it is an airplane. Maybe it's just something that they have on airplanes, and I just am dumb as fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it means anything except, hey, this is an airplane.
Right? I didn't know. So I just throwing it out there if anybody who frequently flies on airplanes is this common. Because I assumed it would be like no smoking, no guns, like exit out. Like, why do we just got like, we just got symbols of guns and biohazards, and I can't tell what the other symbols are. So that was an interesting little something to make you guys think about, and probably means absolutely nothing. Y'all know I just take screenshots of stupid shit like this all the time. Like, what did that mean? Anything? And then again, like her watching it, I don't think this means anything either, other than just the fact that it's coming off a projector and we get, the 3 lights. But could it mean something, Dana? Because remember back when we get the 3 visions, when they're in the caves, we get fire, earth, and water.
Oh,
just throwing it out there. Don't know if it even has that semblance or not, but I'm just throwing it out there.
That is the correct colors.
I don't know. Just muddying up the waters. Don't know if it has any meaning to anything or not. Or, again, they're just, the scene is what it is, right? She's just kind of seeing her death. They're playing it out like a movie, and they just happen to show that just to show that it's being played like a projector kind of thing. I don't know. What about you, James? Does it make you think anything, or it just is what it is?
Is what it is. Just first thought, but I would have to ponder it.
Yeah, eat some more. Get you something, maybe not the cobbler, but something less strong as the cobbler, and ponder on that.
And rewatch the episode.
Yeah, and just ponder on some of the things we talked about. See where your brain goes. Inspector says, "How dare they use the Goonie reference?" I know the Goonies. See, this was such a good episode. Flight 108. Was that movie. Their flight? Was that this flight? Miss Debbie, clarify the Flight 108 in reference. Was this the flight they were on when they crashed? I can't remember what their flight was. The flight number. Was it 108? I don't know. I'm talking to myself, apparently.
I'm Googling.
Because I have no idea. But no, this was good. Again, I'm curious as to where this goes with their sort of younger selves. They're seeing Van's seen her younger self quite a few times here in the last couple episodes during her death, right? As she's kind of been in and out with the cancer. So that's interesting.
The flight number is
25.
Oh no, Debbie says, "Oh no, just because it looks exactly like the Lost Flight 108." Right, exactly. Yeah, like this whole scene made me think Lost. I don't know why, but this conversation between her younger self, everything on here made me think Lost for some reason. I got total Lost vibes. Eddie's welcome.
Trying to look up the airplane symbols. I'm trying to see if there's anything.
Welcome. Eddie says, phone is a misdirect. How can they use it and explain how they have it? And that is true point. That is a very good point. I don't know. They found it. They found the campsite but didn't find the campers. Maybe. That's believable, right? There's no evidence otherwise, right? Because they're going to eat them and throw away the bones.
I don't know. Bones make some soup later.
They grind up the bones, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get away with any of this. How they got away with it to begin with is pretty questionable. But if they don't go, then I wonder how, if they don't use the phone to get back, then I wonder how they do get back.
I mean, it would almost have to be that, right?
That's my initial thought, but Eddie does make a good point how they're going to explain how they have it and used it without having Kodiak or Hannah around.
Yeah. I mean, they just found it. Don't know anything about no frog people, but we found this camp that had this cool ass radio. Looked like it had got attacked by a bear though, or something. Everything was just tore all to hell. Antenna was broken. It took us a while to fix it.
Right? The bear. Seems logic. It's plausible, logical, maybe, possible. Maybe. I mean, because clearly the girls couldn't have taken out Kodiak, right? He was like super skilled G.I. Joe motherfucker. Like he was badass.
They had a gun.
Well,
The only reason why Hannah was able to.
He had a crossbow, among other things. We don't know what all he had, right? And we still don't know about Kodiak, right? Because I love how Hannah questioned him about the name on his like.
Yeah, that was questionable.
And he's like, "What? I got it from a thrift store." Same thing, like she said, like he just got it from some fucking whatever. A little too.
She had one up on him. That's the only reason why Hannah was able to stab him in the face. He wasn't expecting it, so she definitely had the advantage. Otherwise, Hannah wouldn't have been able to take him literally.
Just like a woman, catch you off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Talk all nice, talk all sweet, and then we turn around, stab you in the face.
Oh, look at pretty little old me. I wouldn't hurt you for nothing.
Oh, I'm so defenseless. Oh,
right? And then whack, stabby, stab in the eyeball.
I need the help opening up this pickle jar.
Yep. And if Cody was a real thinker, he would have probably thought, oh, Hannah's probably thinking her only way out of here is to kill me. So I need my own plan. But he just wasn't thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm. Forever Autumn says, it kind of annoys me. They don't use the same plane they crashed in for these plane death scenes. Yes, and even Spectre says each death on the plane is different. So yeah, that's another thing to pay attention to. What is up with that? And again, this scene here makes me think we get a little bit of a clue to what's going on with these plane death scenes. Not completely, because again, even when Jackie died, right, when she was like almost like in the cabin warm and it was all hot and stuff, but she froze to death outside, and she even got to have like a little weird trippy death scene. So, but they were still in the woods. So I don't know. What is that all about? Is it just a psychological thing that they're going through at the time of the death? So that's what they see. Or is there something else with it and the supernatural side that maybe that we're going to get to as this version of Van kind of hints at, I would say. I'm very interested in seeing what the fuck she meant by that. Like, was that a real statement, or is this them just throwing us off again, or just giving us some craziness? I don't know.
It's another thing that is leaning toward the supernatural aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. Until they come back next episode and let us know it was all bullshit again. And then they bring it back again full circle. Keep fucking with us. Did Jackie appear on the plane with Natalie? Who was it with Natalie? Was it herself? When Natalie died.
Yes,
young
I think
Natalie.
it was her young self.
Yeah, it was her young self. Jackie saw all of them, right? When Jackie died and she was going through her death scene, I believe she was like in a cabin. They were all surrounding her. There was some weird dude in the background. But she didn't see her younger self because she was still young at the time. So, again, it makes me think that, like, whatever it is, whatever the supernatural, maybe there's a good and a bad entity, right? Maybe it is the bad entity and the wilderness is the good entity, and they're getting crossed in some way. Or maybe, I hate to say Taz is the good. I don't think Taz is the good entity. I don't know if there's a good entity. I'm trying to like throw some stuff out there, but I'm question marking what particularly Van's younger version is even more suspicious than any of the previous ones we've seen. when dealing with the present timeline. So I don't know. This one here, super question mark. The fact that she even gave Van a dose in that weird dreamlike state of the black substance, saying just a little boost to get you on your way, knowing that, look, it's not saving you, you're not getting rid of your cancer, but it'll keep you from dying long. Because she was throwing up blood. She was the doctors told her like she needed, like, this is the end of her life, like the end of her days, like she had to plan for basically death. Like they I don't think they were giving her much time for her to be walking like, oh, I'm good to go. You know, it seemed like it was just another little boost from it, the same it that saved her, you know, I guess in the start of when she thought she didn't have cancer anymore. It just seems to be leading down that path. But again, is it all in her head? I don't know, because she is under the cancer. That's what I thought the phone call. I thought they explained the phone call that she received with the cancer. Okay, maybe she's got a tumor or some kind of brain cancer or something that's causing her to hallucinate. But now we see Ty using a phone in the same manner to reach out. So was, again, back to what is this? How much of this is supernatural? Is it supernatural? It's starting to lean back to that again. The pendulums, it keeps swinging back and forth, James. It's getting to be slightly frustrating, but in a good way.
I don't know. It is frustrating, especially this episode. I mean, I like this episode too and everything, but it was just, this episode was just like, what? Scarlett's gonna love this shit.
I know. I was so ready. Ooh, I was like, yes.
Everything
I told
about
y'all. Told you, Miss Melissa was a piece of shit.
Yeah, not just the Melissa stuff, but the supernatural things in it. I mean, just everything, several little things. So I don't know. I would still say it's not supernatural. Even Ty's thing, it's you know, schizophrenia, whatever, trauma induced stuff. But I don't know. There's 2 or 3 things through the show that really make you go, I don't know. Especially this episode. It had like a couple just in this episode.
Right? Like a couple things that make you go back to saying, okay, well, maybe a little questionable. Like, why did her younger self talk about the Goonies and X marks the spot? Now, it could just been coincidence, you know, that they just happened, because they were going to stop there either way, right? Like, they were kind of going after, once they realized it was Melissa, right? So maybe it was just...
it just seems a little too...
I'm just saying it could be a coincidence. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying it's not supernatural. I'm just saying if they want to, they can clearly just say, well, you know, it just happened to be a coincidence.
You know, you add in the thing like, what was the stuff in the needle? And, you know, was it anything at all? And what was the point of it? And, you know, because little things like that, like, did Van laying in the hospital bed need something to like get her up out of the bed, like a little boost, and she envisioned that and you know, gave it to herself per se? Or was it something supernatural? I mean, there's just a lot of questions still.
Right. And you guys in chat are bringing up some good stuff. Yeah, because we see Lottie pop off when Van is in the hospital. She kind of gets a little bit of Lottie, like almost whispering to her, the younger version. So again, was what she saw, what Van saw in the hospital right after she started throwing up blood with Ty and Lottie and all that stuff, was that real? Like, was that still part of like this kind of occurrence of them seeing things, getting insight from it? Is it still, because, you know, it's weird, right? We have no idea to know how much of what they're seeing is real or not. They throw us off. You know, the frogs completely threw me off. Like, once they did that, I'm like, okay, well, now there's nothing that we can really truly say unless we see it for sure happen. Because that would totally fucked everybody, I think. The frogs was just a piece of shit. I'm never going to not be upset about that because that was part of our theory crafting. We were like, yeah, it could be an animal, but there's no animal that's like that in this part of the world, right? Of course not. It's made up. So if the show's going to make up some weird species of frog in order to explain why these researchers are here every 7 years in order to come up with the reason why the supplies are there, the dude in the cabin, what else is it that we're going to kind of add in that us as fans trying to theory craft are saying, okay, well, we're looking up things, but now they're adding in possibilities that we can't confirm until after the show confirms it, right? Because we can say, well, it's a weird animal. Well, there's nothing that you could go off of to say it's a weird animal other than the fact that it makes a weird sound. Well, okay, that could be anything. So I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. I still question mark Van. This version of Van is totally trippy. She saw her several times, right? During her almost time of death. Now, Misty saw herself when she was at the bar, but it didn't necessarily have anything to do with death, right? So was that just not necessarily the same as this kind of deal that they're seeing when Misty sees herself or whatever? Was it her or Natalie she saw? She saw somebody at the bar when she was looking. Was it her younger self or Natalie's younger self? I'm trying to remember back when Misty was in the bar right after Natalie died this season, and she got the jacket on, and she's like telling the dude she's gonna burn him with a candle.
I don't remember exactly.
She saw young Natalie. Okay, that's right. It was young Nat. So again, when they're seeing these sort of young versions of themselves or other of the girls, what does that like? Some of them are kind of explainable as like, okay, they're in a little bit of their head, but which ones are? Because some of them seem to not manipulate, but maybe cause them to do things, like particularly with Shauna when she was talking to herself or talking to Jackie in the cooler. That's what really sent her down like the other pathways. Like she was like telling herself like, maybe you should really like, look what you're doing. You're acting crazy. And it was just weird that her in her head used those, if it was in her head or if it was it trying to manipulate her, it used those words, because we already know like now how Shauna feels about people calling her crazy. She doesn't really take too kindly to those words. So that could have been a trigger. Was that all in her head, just her craziness, or was it whatever this other underlying supernatural good/bad is sort of leading them, manipulating them to whatever this game is that it's playing? Like it's just weird. Like we don't know what's if it's real, then there's something that it clearly is doing or needs, right? Because it's not just random. It seems like it has a purpose or a plan. But if it is all in their heads and this is all just random occurrences that just happen to fall into place, I don't know. I'm rambling. What do you guys think?
I think you're rambling.
I tend to. Like, this is how we theory craft, me and Dana. I ramble, and then she thinks about some things, and she'd be like, well, what if this, Scarlett? I'm like, you know what? I like it.
And James sits there and says, bullshit.
Not crazy. Stop it.
See, Forever Autumn says, I think they're stuck in that time, so they view each other and themselves at the age, even if they're just remembering. Good point. Good point. Fletcher says trauma. Spectre says some kind of defense mechanism of their trauma. Definitely could be. Yeah, I definitely do like that on that she tells her, Spectre, what would be the fun of telling you the ending? As if this version knows, maybe. I don't know. But
and what are the odds? And like you say, it could be the entity or whatever it may be, you in the form of young Van telling her what would be the fun of telling you the ending. So what do you guys think the chances are there's something like the show is actually going to show us something past this point of, the death of these people? Like, she's insinuating there's something further.
Made me feel like at the end of Lost, when they all end up meeting together at the chapel, it kind of made me think it was going to be something like that, but not exactly the same. But it gave me that vibe of like, I don't know, like maybe they will get to be together at the end and stuff. She'll still get to be with Ty, and they'll have like their own little. I mean, I don't know. It just gave me the Lost vibe. This whole scene just made me think of that moment in Lost at the end of it. What about you, Dana?
Yes. Yeah, no, it definitely did. It definitely gave me that like afterlife type of feel. Like you have to wait for everybody before you guys could kind of maybe move on.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is another hint to the supernatural. But yeah, no, I agree. This definitely had Lost vibes all over it.
Right, like they're on the plane waiting for everybody to kind of join in a way or something. I don't know. It was really weird. It was trippy. Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
if it's gonna be exactly like Lost. It just gave me that vibe of like they're gonna have something with them for the ending. Maybe they're gonna.
maybe they make it to the playoffs finally.
I don't know. It was just weird. This whole conversation was interesting, but maybe they do. They get to win and be triumphant in the afterlife. I don't know. It was weird because it was like, what the hell was the point of the conversation, right? Like, is it just to appease herself? Is that what they're doing? Is this, again, is it death itself? Like y'all have talked about that in the past, right? With the ferrymen and all that kind of stuff. So if it's death itself, is it, again, we talked about two supernatural things, right? Is one death and is one life? Or something, and and it's not necessarily good or bad, just is what it is. And so you have the wilderness that gives life, and then you have it that takes it.
Could be, and that's very much also like Lost with Jacob and the Man in Black. Neither one could really be considered good. Neither one could really be considered pure evil. So, you know, is it a take of something like that? You have a yin and yang type of deal going on to where, like you said, one gives life, one takes it.
And could it be a weird version of like Final Destiny? Maybe they weren't supposed to survive the plane crash, and in a weird ass way, it's not quite the same, as far as like the order, when they did it in Final Destination, but maybe in a sense of like, if this is death, right? Whatever it is that's following Ty or whatever, just throwing a theory out there. If it is, and it still has to cover its losses, right? Do you remember the episode in Charmed when Piper became Death and she fucked with the order and it changed who died? But Death still needed its tally, right, in order to keep the balance. So maybe it's some version of that, and that's why it's like, because it even told her something like, like she's like, why did you tell me to do this if this was how it was going to end? She was like, it's not my call. It reminds me of death, right? Death doesn't get to say who dies. It just takes the souls that are on the list, right? It doesn't, and we know in Charm that list changed, right? Depending on the actions that people took, right? Your name might be on the top of the list, you do something different, and the name changed, right? And even in that episode of Charm, did they not negotiate with death in order to trade souls, in a sense, to keep the balance? Which we've kind of seen how, we see one person supposedly marked for death, but then somehow it swaps to something else, right? I don't know, just some things to think about. My little tinfoil hat was rambling there.
Yeah, no, Supernatural did something like that too. When Dean had to wear Death's ring, and he was like, and because he couldn't take the life of that little girl, but because he didn't take the life of that little girl, it caused the ripple effect to where it cost more life than just taking that one soul. So keeping the balance is a big thing with death.
And again, and I don't know, because we don't know if how evil it is or what the hell is going on with the wilderness. Like, there was another episode of Charmed, right, where it was the one where they did the soul swapping thing in the afterlife, and they were trying to save the old man. He was like a teacher of, like, I don't remember if it was karate or something like that, and he was they went through how the bad guy, sort of, in the afterlife, he changed what the doorway looked like. He made it look like a desolate place because of his fear. Whereas when they took his soul and sent it on its way, everything turned into more like a Garden of Eden kind of thing. And he was like, this is the way it's truly is meant to be, peaceful, tranquil. That transition from life to death and the afterlife is supposed to be peaceful. And so maybe, again, whatever it is not good or bad, but depending on the person it's with, kind of changes its nature, maybe. And so with these girls being so young and wild and chaotic, maybe that's why the wilderness is taken to that more than the structure. I don't know. Because Lottie definitely played a role in how the rituals were done, right? And could argue that she is kind of what led even this entity, if it is a neutral entity, right? And it can kind of do one way or the other, especially when you talk about witchcraft, or Wiccan or paganism or anything like that. They did it in what was it? The Wiccan? Oh, fuck! What was it? The Craft. That's the movie. Remember how the two witches, one took the god to a darker place and one took it to a lighter place or a more tranquil place, depending on how the individual, kind of like their inner self was. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did, like I said, they did it in the Craft. They kind of had a god-like entity, and depending on how you were, you could take it to a darker place or it would be a more lighter place. And so I'm curious if Lottie's, the way she has done the rituals, has taken it to a more darker, primal sort of thing, as opposed to maybe a lighter, more maybe something that could have been better. I don't know. I really just rambled the hell out of some shit.
So let's just say we're next season or so in.
Mm-hmm.
What, I guess, let's see. I mean, what could the show do that would tell us for sure? Like, we just saw a scene in whatever episode in the future, and we're like all sitting there, holy shit, it is supernatural, or holy shit, it's not supernatural. Like
Ty, I think, is going to be the only one left that's going to be the kicker. She's the only one with the main connection left. Lottie's gone. Pretty much everybody else is gone that we thought was like really connected to it. She seems connected to it, but she hasn't shown any signs of really believing in that shit up until now. I think that Ty, if her dark self ever truly comes out and slips up around the other ladies and they realize it, and I think Ty's going to be the reveal of it. That's just me. I don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow, if it is real, if the supernatural is real, it's going to be displayed more so through Ty and being confirmed through Ty, either through her own words to the group at the end, like maybe she's the lone survivor, her and Shauna, and she tells Shauna, like, this was always the way it was going to be. The game is, I've been playing the game the whole time, and I was always going to be the winner or something. I don't know, but I just feel like Ty's going to be the one to really reveal the supernatural side of it, like confirm it. Because she, so far, to me, is the only real Ty.
Right. But are you saying that in the sense that the man with no eyes is a supernatural entity and it's different than the forest, since it seems like she had that before she got to the forest? Or are you saying the forest is an additional entity, or that the forest isn't anything. It's all the no-eyed man with no eyes.
I don't know. I think Ty's going to reveal whatever is going on with her, and it was in the forest, and it was seemed like it was at one point when Ty was doing her sleepwalking, like that no-eyed man was attracted to whatever it was in the forest. Because it made her find the symbols. It was making her do some really trippy stuff that had to do with the symbols. They haven't showed it yet, but I feel like there's got to be some connection between it and whatever's going on in the forest. I don't know what that is because we don't know whatever is connected to her. The show made it seem as if it was tied to her grandmother, and we don't know anything about that. So there's still kind of how like From left the openings to their past to leave those connections to be displayed later. And now that we kind of been revealed in From, like there's, possible reincarnation and that these people are connected in some weird way and that the supernatural stuff is connected through the past, it's still possible that through Ty and her family that there's still some sort of connection. We don't know this company either, right? This research company. There still could be a connection through that. I don't know completely how, but just there's not too many parties left that could prove the supernatural. Melissa the only thing she's proving is that she believes it now. And it sucks that they didn't give us anything on Melissa prior to this season because we don't really know where she falls with Lottie truly and the supernatural side of things. She hasn't divulged anything other than now that she's like, oh, this is what it wants. Well, that could be something that Hannah ends up putting into Melissa now that Melissa and Hannah are going to start to be closer, and Hannah seems to be out of her fucking mind. She might play into this stuff, might be why she may choose to even do the ritual to see how it works. She's so into the scientific side of it. What if she's like, hey, I want to do the pick a card, draw a card, see what happens, and it just fucking doesn't work out for her. There's still too many questions as far as like what it is and the difference with what Ty has, that they have it connected, that they're going to have to connect that in order for the supernatural to truly be explained. Otherwise, then it's just they explain Ty, but they don't explain the forest. Like, I feel like if you explain one, you have to explain both. Otherwise, then it's just in their head.
Right. So would you say if one is revealed to be supernatural, they both will?
I would think so. At least that's what I think. I don't know. What about you, Dana? Where you stand with it?
I'm still on the 50-50. I definitely think there's something extra here. And if not, I'm going to be very, very surprised because I feel like it's all in their head, bunch of crazy people. Been there, done that. Like I'm hoping it's not it's all in their head. Shauna's in something and it's her just writing in her diary, making up the whole thing, or they never left the wilderness. I hope it's just not something that leans towards the crazy aspect. I would definitely like it to be something supernatural. So I'm hoping that it's like a 50-50 split, that it's because of the supernatural that their craziness is also being brought into play, because it's definitely fucking with them in some sense. And of course, what they've been through, the trauma and all that. So some crazy element will be brought into it, but I'm definitely hoping that it's something supernatural. So I'm still leaning to a 50-50 split.
Yeah, could be. I mean, that's kind of where the show's leaving it. I mean, you can't really say yes and prove it this way or yes and prove it the other way yet. So we're, I don't know. I just, I've still got this strange feeling that the show will leave us with that. Like, it's up to you to decide as a viewer.
Yeah, very much so could.
But,
they could lead us the whole way through like that.
But little shit like that needle thing, what did that mean? I mean, it's just too many little things, right? that if they left it open, it's just like, really, come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this got me
But I
here when she
still,
did the black little whatever in
yeah,
the needle in the bag saying, I'm just giving you a little something to help you on your way. Again, like
yeah, and I'm
leading
still with
her
the,
to her the path, not necessarily to her death, right? But leading her to the choice of, you know, whatever it is. And it did lead to her death. But again, it was weird how it said, like herself said later, like, you know, it wasn't my call. And that just so reminded me of how death is, right? Like, it's not my call. I mean, I can't stop what is. I'm just here to kind of collect, but you know, it's up to you. I gave you everything you needed. It was up to you to figure it out. And then again, depending on if this is like actually death as a neutral sense, or if this is a darker entity that is still not death, but is a death-like entity of some sort of darker side, still remains to be, you know, seen, but
Well,
definitely
the
gave me that vibe.
Van, you know, the bigger picture, they would not have come across Melissa, who had run out of gas, if Van hadn't have decided to just get up and leave. And it would have played out totally differently, of course, unless I could see like Melissa arriving at the hospital because she's injured and coming across Van and Ty and Misty. That's how I kind of thought it would happen. But since they wrote it this way, as far as young Van coming in there and giving her a shot of something in her IV bag and like, this is going to give you a little boost, almost like that's what made her get the energy to be able to jump up and say, let's get on out of here, which
Right.
led to them crossing paths with Melissa and eventually her death, because she would probably still be alive at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless of course Melissa showed up at the hospital and it played out almost the same anyway. But
Because it made it seem like if she goes along with things, then it would save her life, right? But that's not what happened. So it was very weird how, and then I don't know, it was, again, I don't know how to take it. I go back and forth with it. I can sit here and ramble about it.
is there
I'm with
any
you.
way possible? I mean, because she's on the airplane and stuff at the end of life and stuff, I just don't see how it could be possible that that's Dark Ty in any way, you know. So you know, you start eliminating things. It's like Dark Ty seems to, even though she does affect everyone around her, no one else is affected by the man with no eyes. So that's like just a her thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
At least that we know of. Like,
yeah,
it's
and I
weird.
wonder if is she a believer? I know she wanted to stay back. Is she a believer in what Lottie's doing out in the woods? Does she believe there's something
Ty,
like in the forest?
I want to say she's gone back and forth. She doesn't, I wouldn't say that she doesn't believe Lottie. I would say she's scared of what it could be, because she didn't want Lottie to know about her sleepwalking and possible other self. She knows something's not right with her. I don't know if she fully believes in all of what Lottie's got going down, but she definitely knows, as far as herself is concerned, there's something not right. But I don't know. The only ones that I think really believed Lottie was Aquila. I don't know how many others still believe Lottie. A few of them might have, like, just I want to call them extras, even though they're not extra background characters. But you know, she had, like, basically, I don't even know if Shauna ever really believed her. Misty, like, it seemed like a lot of the girls was taking whatever Lottie was saying as and using it for their own power gain, and to a degree. I don't know if Nat ever truly believed. Like, they all questioned it and all maybe had a little bit of like fear of it being possibly real, but I don't know how many of them actually really believe Lottie. I know Aquila did. I'm trying to remember who else really like backed Lottie because they truly believed it. Travis may have for a little bit. But even he real quickly didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Because she was believing it a little more on the adult side, trying to save Van, and they saw the coyote with the rabbit or whatever it was, and it's just it goes back to, well, if the coyote and the rabbit is the forest or that entity, what is the man with no eyes thing? Like, where's the connection? And even though they all have trauma, like Shauna with the baby and things like that, Ty has dark Ty, and Van knows it while they're in the woods anyway.
Right.
So that's like a double whammy for Ty, but we don't know if the thing in the forest is real, especially now after the frog thing. Yeah, it kind of,
because that could have been the marking, and we don't know what the markings are.
Right. That could all that could be explainable at this point. More so than the man with no eyes. That seems a little, because of the phone ringing to Van, the stuff Van sees, and the X marks the spot thing. I mean, that's questionable.
And it's weird because, like, let's just say, for instance, that there was never a forest entity, that the markings that we see have to do with those researchers and that company, and they might not have just been researching the frogs, right? Maybe they were researching other things there. That's why the markings were there. And the only true entity was the one that followed Ty, and maybe because of Lottie and what she did, maybe it connected itself to the symbol in a way to how am I trying to say it? Connect to something there, but it's not like an entity there. More of a, again, it kind of goes back to the pagan sort of witchcraft sort of stuff, right? And how they changed the entity or made it grow in some form, gave it more power through the rituals that Lottie was going through. And Lottie maybe the whole time was picking up on Ty, but just didn't realize it.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a theory, a possibility for sure. And
because they were all in the cabin having weird trippy shit go off, right? But Ty was in the cabin.
Right. And the symbols may just mark where the gas, like if you go past the symbol, you'll get in the area where gas is seeping up out of the ground, and you could hallucinate and that kind of thing. So that's still in play as far as the gas and what it could mean. And if it is an entity, maybe it came up out of the caves, as well, or something. They could have uncovered it, or dug it up or something. There's just all kinds of real possibilities, but
we don't know where it came from. This could, it could be one, and I'm not saying this is a good way to tell the story, but what if the plane crash was because of it? Ty's on the plane, and maybe this is sort of where it came from, or maybe it draws more power from there and it wanted to get back to sort of its roots or something. I don't know. I'm kind of throwing another random theory, kind of talking it out, like maybe because again the plane crash was abnormal to begin with. So far we don't know too much about the wilderness. We see a lot of what Ty's kind of going through and her crazy stuff, but again, how it connects to it in the wilderness is the biggest question, because Ty has the altar in her house back in season 2 or something like that.
Yeah, so she definitely may be the key to everything. The reason.
So far, she's the only one we've seen with an altar like that since the wilderness.
And we get some crazy episode that shows us a backstory to Grandma, and Grandma has more connections to the company or some, everything starts connecting if they just show us a little more.
Because we've almost got the full picture. We've got a lot of pieces now. They just have to give us all the connectors. I feel like we've just about got the full board. We've really only got a few big questions left to connect. Now, of course, they're going to throw in a lot more little things to throw us off to get through at least another season, maybe 2. But with this only one episode left, to know where we're at, we got winter starting. And we know how winter started last time, right? It kind of just came upon them the same way it is right now, right? Overnight, Jackie was outside, and by the next morning, they were covered. And it seems to be happening the same way. They're essentially in the middle of the night, hoping that everybody's asleep. Winter sets in.
Yeah.
And you would think, and they've been prepared as they think they are. Again, we already know that Akila has seen the vision, and it was just so happens that Akila saw the vision. That, to me, leads to the fact that it was showing winter is coming, right? Everything dying off, and the animals dying off, and now here is winter. It's very interesting to see how they're going to get through it, because things are pretty bad now with the power structure, winter setting in, Hannah's being a wild card. We're going to get to really see the fullness of Lottie's rituals coming out now, right? Because we already know that's going to happen. We know that this is pretty much what we've been waiting for, right? Since season 1. This is the big winter that we've been waiting to see. We have the pit. The pit is set up. Travis has shown how the trap has been laid. Again, all the pieces are fitting. What happened with the transponder and Misty, we now know that that's been revealed, right? As far as to the group, we wondered how long that was going to be a mystery from the group. Well, Nat now knows. We know Nat survives. We know Misty survives. So how is that going to play out? Is Nat going to keep that from the group, or is she going to tell it? Do we get a split in the group like we think there was going to be, with Team Lottie and then maybe Team Nat? And then that's how they chase Mari down, right? Because who gets camp and who gets to go out in the wilderness?
Yeah,
if they do.
And with the phone thing, I was saying earlier about Misty being on Team Shauna, but she hadn't told Shauna what she was doing with the phone, up to that point. So even though she's seemingly Team Shauna, Natalie could definitely get her to, hey, we don't need to tell Shauna's side of folk about this.
Right.
And they just kind of do the thing on their own, maybe.
And see, Lottie, I can see her not being upset with Misty, right? Because Lottie's like, well, it's kind of like, well, it was meant to be. You were being used by the wilderness in order to, because Lottie don't want to fucking leave anyways.
Right.
And I'm seeing Shauna's power slightly getting taken from her soon, maybe. But I'm curious to see, because I don't see her truly wanting to work with Lottie in that sense. But if Lottie keeps power, then I would see Shauna maintaining power. But if they can overthrow Lottie, that changes everything. Lottie, for whatever reason, still seems to be ahead of everybody, even though she's out of her fucking mind. Like, she's making moves that aren't even, like, the fact that she knew what the hell was good, like, whatever happened with Travis and her, like, she's going to get ready to set that up. She already feels like she's accomplished what she wanted in the sense of them not leaving with the two, with Hannah and Kodiak. Like, she was like, no, they're going to do all this shit to us. They're bad. And now with Hannah being all whacked out, I can see her getting in with Lottie. And then there's no telling. So if Lottie keeps her power and whatever this whacked ass shit she's got going on, then yeah, Shauna's going to be like super powered all the way to the end. But then again, we still have a couple of mystery people. We know that they have a few months left in the wilderness, and we're going to have at least Akila, Mari. What is the skunk girl? Jen or Jim?
Jen. Yep.
And who else? There's at least one more female. I'm not remembering that. I think is there.
Yeah, I forgot her name though.
Oh, there's at least one more.
Maybe two.
Yeah. And all of these people seemingly have to be dead before they are found.
That we know of.
That we know of. So that's at least 1, 2, 3. We got at least 4 possible deaths, maybe, to go. Plus Hannah is another question mark. So we know she's possibly. Again, do we know that Hannah doesn't survive?
Well, she didn't come back.
That we know of. I wonder if Melissa, she's going to be not. I honestly don't think Hannah survived, but just throwing out something random. What if, because knowing that Melissa is being all crazy whacked out the way she is it possible that Hannah's still alive and she faked her death?
I
don't know.
say no, but
but
anything's possible.
I don't really. I it didn't really sound as good when you say it out loud.
Yeah, because I used to think if Ty died, would everything stop? Because is she the supernatural connection? Would that like make everything where it's not crazy stuff happening? But I think if you took Ty out of the picture, like Shauna would still be badass crazy, batshit crazy. I don't know. I think a lot of it's the trauma side, because I try to take Ty out of the equation, and it seems like they're still effed in the head,
right?
From just their ordeal.
That's what Jeff and Callie think, right? They make note to that this episode as well. I mean, they've made it a note. This relationship between the two of them kind of been talking about that the last couple episodes, right? His mom, and she seems to feel bad for Mom now, like the way that they're. First, she had a lot of anger, I think, for Mom, but somehow it seems, at least the way that they're kind of showing it, and the way I'm perceiving is that she's starting to just feel sad for Mom. Like, she really wants Mom to get help. Like, she still thinks that, Mom's not necessarily a bad person, but what she knows of what happened to them in the wilderness, thinks has caused Mom to basically be paranoid. And not necessarily, like, I don't think she thinks Mom's a bad person, but just like I said, she thinks that Mom's crazy in the sense that she thinks the brakes, the phone, all this stuff is, somebody's coming after them, and that Mom's just kind of, because she had to survive and had to look over their shoulder so much, that they can't ever get out of that headspace of like something's always coming to get her. But little does Callie know that there might be something to that. So I can't wait to see if they're going to I hope they do it at the season finale. We're going to check out the trailer in just a second. I don't know how long this next episode is. They've been like around 55 minutes these last couple, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hopefully, who knows if we get it even longer one. And do we get full reunion? We got Walter hanging around. He's still doing who God knows what with his he's a little bit creepy now this episode. He wasn't quite on my radar at all. You guys have been pointing him out, so kudos to you guys for seeing what I didn't see, because I thought he was just kind of innocent, just a little oddball, but not like having anything to do with like going after them or anything with the girls particularly. Just another oddball out there, kind of like Misty, but not as crazy. But no, he's questionable now after this episode. The way he's been reacting, the way he is focusing on Shauna, thinking back now, like this episode in particular raised the biggest red flag for me and made me think back to how he questioned Misty on what episode or so back, why Shauna wasn't answering his phone calls, why he got Shauna to team up with him, and he was following her around. So again, it made at first it seemed like, of course, he's going after Shauna. Shauna seemed like one that would be the killer. But now it's almost as if, why is he following, again, the stalker-like behavior reminds me of Melissa, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they are. Maybe there was something to what you guys were saying, that Melissa and Walter are working together on this. Again, we don't know anything about Walter, really, or his backstory, his family, or his connections. We know very zero to little about Melissa and her family, or who, we don't even know if she has a brother or sister, right? They never have even told us that, or we never even, I didn't even think about it. That's why I was asking this episode, like, we've never have seen Melissa until now. We have absolutely no history on her other than what we've seen in this season. So they could very well, You know, somebody come out and say, "Oh yeah, she had like a half brother or something out there," like you guys were saying. It is actually more. It's more possible than it ever was for sure. It's on my radar.
So what do you think? What do you think Misty saw on the phone?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think she saw Walter.
Do you think it was a photo and maybe a
was a
photo of Lottie with someone?
With someone, and I'm curious if it's going to be Melissa, if it's going to be Callie, or if it's going to be Ty. Or it could be something we don't even fucking know about yet. What about you guys in the chat? What do you think is on the picture that Misty sees? And Dana, what do you think?
I think.
Oh, there you are.
I think maybe when she like fell down the stairs, maybe a picture gets snapped.
Maybe.
You know how like when you drop your phone and maybe we see a snapped photo of somebody standing at the top of the stairs, and it's the Who that's standing at the top of the stairs that has Misty being like, "Oh shit," because that looks like that could be a Callie reaction. Like not the person you were expecting to see at the top of those steps. Like that
could be.
Like or yes, like Eddie says, Aquila, like that's a reaction like it's nobody that's in her orbit right now. That's a didn't see that one coming look.
Ooh, what if it's Hannah? I'm throwing it out there too because we don't know.
So after they
or Mari, Dana, what if it's Mari? It was Mari the whole fucking time.
I'm Team Mari.
Yep.
What?
My credit.
How did
I
she
know if
leave?
it's Mari, Dana, I'll praise to you. You saw it. You
How did she leave the group? How was it that Misty left before they got to Melissa's house? Or
well, no, they were at Melissa's house, and somewhere in between.
Where did she leave to go meet? Oh yeah, he picked her up at the helicopter.
Yeah. Shauna. Yeah, and after she was like, "I put you in the freezer, Shauna," she was like, "That's it, I'm done."
Yeah,
yeah,
somewhere right around here because she kind of leaves right around here, and then because when we come back,
I'm not going to clean up your mess.
Yeah, she wasn't going to clean up the mess. She's like, "I'm out. You deal with your bullshit," and that's when she meets up with Walter.
Yeah, she Ubered that guy said about his aquarium things or whatever. Yeah. Now I remember. So, I mean, it could be Callie. She could see Callie. She could see. I mean, I don't know if it's like Dana was saying, a snap. I mean, that totally crossed my mind. It totally could be, but I figure it's like a photo of Lottie and somebody, like y'all were saying, naming out different names and stuff. Misty did recognize Melissa, so she would recognize Mari or Aquila or one of the other girls, probably.
I like where Forever Autumn is going with this because I thought she might have saw Melissa, which would have shocked her because she left them with Melissa thinking it was Shauna, right? And how wrong she was. And and I do like where Forever Autumn's going. I think whatever she saw on the phone was connected to Walter, because if Walter is working with Melissa, Walter was covering their tracks, right? That's why he was on top of Lottie's death, on top of cloning the phone, and didn't seem like he really wanted her to have the phone. I don't know. It was weird the way, like, when she brought up the phone and stuff, that he was kind of not, like, he didn't want them to know about that. Like, if he had the picture, the image that's freaking out Misty, if it was Shauna, why would he have not already shown that image?
Yeah. Surely it's Melissa with Lottie. I mean, and that's what Misty's realizing.
And Walter would be the one to cover it up. Like, he seemed like the one that would have planted the evidence.
I mean, I don't know if Walter's in the wrong. But could be.
Because that look he had when she left, I couldn't tell if it was a look like he was just mad because she dipped on him, or like what Forever Autumn is saying, like basically he like she figured it out and he knows, and he's like, hang on, let me get to the image. Where was it? Did I go too far? I went too far. Dang it. Dang it. I had it. He had a look on his face. He was not pleased.
I don't know about not pleased. Maybe he was pleased. Like, okay, she's on the case.
I don't know. He sipped that drink. Damn it. Why am I missing it? Somewhere in between this stuff, and I keep missing that. Here, no. God dang it. I went to, there it is. Here it is, I think. Yeah. Did I get the image? Yeah, here it is. I don't know. He had his look during this scene, and maybe it wasn't this image, but he sipped it, and he just seemed like he was not. His whole facial expressions and things during this whole exchange weirded me out and made me think he was just a red flag. It's all fucking
okay.
down.
So instead of red flag, let's go back to your initial thoughts of Walter. Walter just loves Misty. He wants to be with Misty. He loves to make her toes curl, all that kind of stuff. To me, let's just look at it from this angle anyway. He could be like, she is wanting back to work with me. She asked for my help. We're going to work on this together. We're going to look at the phone together and work on this case. So when she took the phone, though, which he left laying there, he knew he left it laying there.
Well, she got him off guard, remember?
And I think he knew that, though. But he's like,
he seemed like he was like, what? And she's like, where are my little sprinkles? Like,
yeah.
Oh, yes, hang on 1
second. So he's not going to force her to be like, you're just making me walk in the other room so you can grab the phone and leave. I think he knew that, but he was upset by it. So when he came back out to the door and took that drink because he noticed she was gone, I think it was, damn, I was hoping she wanted to work with me because I like her.
Maybe. But why is he so fixated on Shauna, especially if he has the phone and he knows what's on it? I don't think it would. I mean, unless it was Shauna that's on there. Do we think it was Shauna then the whole time?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like Forever says it totally could be. Mwahaha. She's playing right into my hands.
Yeah. Or it was something that Misty recognized, but Walter didn't. Like, he doesn't know everything about the Yellowjackets. Like, he doesn't know every.
That's what I'm saying. So if he's so fixated on Shauna,
he could have seen it, but it just didn't mean anything to him because he didn't know the connection.
But what would the image have been that she would have recognized? He didn't recognize, but he had this information. And other than the DNA of Shauna, and he's one to know, like they both know how like DNA is planted.
It could be.
And stuff like that. There's something now, like, and I was fully on Walter's side up until this episode. I thought Walter was kind of innocent, goofy, a little, oddball, a little strange, but now again, he was willing to go with that syringe, so I don't know. Maybe he's a little bit more. Look, I'm just saying he's on my radar now. That's all. He is something that he wasn't before as far as on my murder board.
Well, do we have the final trailer?
We do. I just got to pull it up. Give me just 1 second.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see the little snippet of what's.
Yes, ma'am. Let me stop sharing this. And bring that up.
I'm excited.
This one.
I'm excited.
So it's 30 seconds. So let's see what we get. Here we go. Oh, shit. Hang on. I want to go back even before we get through it. What in the hell? Oh, are they going to eat Kodiak? Hang on. They find the eyeball. That's from the very beginning. That fucking eyeball on the tree. All right, sorry. I got to do this like one click at a time. This is some quick flashes of stuff. I don't know. Who are they eating? Oh, that's just straight creepy as fuck, man. That's their baseball cap that they have converted into a creepy ass fucking mask.
Genius.
That is hella fucking. That's MacGyvering the fuck out. They MacGyvered the hell out of that baseball cap. What the hell are these kids?
That's my Halloween costume this year.
Right, all you your favorite team's baseball cap, and what I don't know what the fuck that is over top of his head with some horns, but damn, that is wild as shit. It looked like Hannah Eaton. It could have been Hannah Eaton. She took the first bites of Kodiak. Oh no! God damn it! Hannah went full cannibal before the rest of them. What's that say?
And Hannah's like, I've been wanting to taste him ever since I met him.
Oh God,
James! That's a good one though. I like it. I'll allow it.
It's acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we'll allow it. All right, I'm trying to play and click real quickly to see what we get.
We have to show the wilderness our respect.
She's playing the card like you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting that power.
We have to have another hunt.
There we go. We gotta have another hunt.
Shit.
And will Miss Hannah volunteer? Or will the wilderness pick her? Or will it be Mari?
Will they all draw a card?
Right? I mean, that's something. And look at Miss Ty. Which Ty version do we think we get now?
Well, Van's dead, so I think we got 2 dark ties at this point.
Yes. I think they're both dark now.
Melissa better watch the heck out.
Yep, I like this. Forever Autumn says, still stuck on Mari telling Coach about eating people. We don't do that anymore. They've eaten so many damn people since then. Ty gonna hurt Melissa. And she might have messed up a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Melissa may be the lone survivor. She's on the loose. We're going to come full circle.
She's going to end up being the last one standing.
See? I ain't even seen this shit yet.
Play that back. A little farther. What was right before that? That was Shauna crying?
Yep.
She's going to end up being the last one standing. You're asking me?
Oh, shit. They got to draw cards. It's going down. Winter has set.
They already got through all them fucking ducks and rabbits and like they got nothing left.
Something may happen. Something may happen.
Lottie said they got, they need to do another hunt. I'm assuming Lottie's doing that to prepare to make sure they get through winter.
Yeah, maybe the animals got away, or died, or froze, or something happened. Forced their hand.
Yep, they weren't ready for it, and it set in overnight, and they're all panicking because of all this crazy shit that just happened. Natalie done found the transponder with Misty, and Kodiak's done passed away, and a lot of stuff.
To pick who dies.
Let's go back a little bit so we can hear that better.
Being the last one standing. You're asking me to pick who dies. They brought.
Ooh.
Oh, shit, we're going to see Lottie. Oh, shit, we're going to see. Oh, they're going to show us. I'm sorry. That's Lottie. It just placed the hotel. Full circle, people. Sorry, I get real fucking excited now.
Uh-oh.
It's so much in the 30 seconds, and we're only 18 seconds in. Hang on, did anybody say it? Seriously, like, fast a day or two, damn it. Yeah, right? Straight up went for cannibalism.
Hey, we got We got a whole video on that over on More Dead Stuff channel.
That's right, guys.
Yes, we
We
do.
talked about it.
And I forgot, rewatching The Last of Us, there was cannibals in there too.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be so good. But we still got a poll going too for anybody. Shit, I totally forgot about the poll. But it's still
I
up
did
there, I
too.
think. I don't even know where the poll's at. We'll take a
I
second
vote
to look.
Fever.
Well, it looks like the Frenzy might win it.
Frenzy, I mean.
Yeah, looking like the
Fever
Frenzy's gonna take
Frenzy.
it.
Frenzy. It's
Alright, let's
just
get back.
fitting. It's just very fitting
It's
for our
very
life.
fitting. You know, it is what it is, Dana.
I would love to frolic more, but we just don't get those privileges.
Mhm. Alright, let's see. Oh god, so excited. Hey, I'm gonna go back like 3 seconds or so to really get the fullness of this. So let's see. Oh,
Okay, so do you think Misty contacted Shauna and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you," or do you think Shauna said, "I'm going to go find that little biatch, Misty"?
ooh, I don't know. Maybe she
No, I think
contacted her.
Misty called her because she saw Callie on that phone.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
That's right. That's what I was
That's a
thinking.
good point. Because she knows.
Brought you to me.
What she say? Let me go back. Shit.
Was that Lottie talking?
I don't know. That's why I'm going back.
I think that's Lottie's voice.
I thought so too. Okay, all right, I'm gonna try to be quiet.
Nice. They brought you to me.
They brought you to me. Is that what she said?
Oh,
Yeah,
and
who is
Callie
they?
stuff's missing.
Who is they? Oh shit, Callie, what happened?
Oh, Callie's gone.
Shit, what the hell did they? Who is they? Did the did her people? Did her psychopathic people bring Callie to her? Her cult people? Because you remember she gave what's her name like $50-something thousand. Remember she met up with what's her name that day?
Oh,
Purple hair
cool.
chick. The one that Misty goes
Correct.
and questions.
Lisa, thank you, Spectre.
Yeah, Lisa. But I mean, I don't know if it. I don't know. I don't think it's Lisa that she's talking about. But they. I mean, she's talking to somebody. They brought you, whoever you is, but we're asking also who they is, or
That's
they
what
are.
I'm saying. They like, was it her cult?
Who's they be? Who's they be?
Well, she didn't. She did not have her cult anymore, and they had the symbol.
And see, this isn't even her death or anything. There were, I don't think.
What was she wearing?
I don't think she was wearing that. And her hair was different.
Was it? I know the water was down there. Which again, why
Because
is there water down there?
This mirrors when we saw her younger self there. She looks more like her younger self did.
Yes.
Back when
And
we
that's
saw
the
her
vision.
younger self. Yeah.
Yep.
But where did the water come from, too? Again, we see the water. What is up with the water? We got water, fire. Is there an earth element here, Dana? Because then if so, we're continuing that path. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you want to just call water on the floor water, you could call just the walls and the steps and stuff the earth, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's fucking trippy as hell, though.
Me.
Oh, shit. There's a mask, too. There's the tape again. Hang on. I want to go back. Oh, shit. Is that Van?
It looks like, is it Hannah that she's,
Is it Hannah? It could be Hannah.
and I'm not sure who it is doing it. Is that
I can't
Jen?
tell. Could they lift the mask up?
It looks like Hannah, but is that Jen doing it in
Maybe.
the pink?
I don't know. It's fucking trippy. They go on a hunt for sure. So I guess Hannah's on the hunt, and then did they? Oh, God bless poor Hannah. She may not make it.
Yeah. It looks like Hannah against the tree, and maybe Jen holding the stake.
Possibly, definitely. See that? Oh, who the hell does she stab?
Yeah. Do you think she's actually killing somebody?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sorry. Are we sure that was back in the day wilderness? Because that almost looked like Callie under that hood.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Go back and look at that chin.
Hang
That
on, I
looked
gotta get
almost
back
like
on the right
Callie.
thing. Look, I got too many pages opened up here. Hang on, we'll get back to that. Okay, hang on, we'll get it here. All right, let's see. All right, so that's Van. Shit, I went too far.
Yeah, that's Hannah against the tree. Now that you've, stopped it at that frame, it definitely.
I'm trying to get the right frame here. They're doing this shit way too quick.
And that looks like
Maybe that almost screamed Callie to me for a second.
yeah. I mean, you can't put it past the show. I mean, they could have definitely the full circle. I mean, that seems to me like they're going back to the woods, but maybe that's not what it means. Can we tell who's holding the tape?
Poor Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, Callie. Oh, something's going on.
Yeah, with Callie crying and the way Jeff looks in the trailer.
She might be admitting to something.
Yeah. It was an accident. She just fell down the steps and her head cracked open and blood went everywhere. And I heard these frogs screaming and
she tried to get me to eat people.
Poor Jeff. He don't know what the fuck to do.
He's probably so stoned hearing all this.
I mean, yeah, that's what it seems like to me. Like maybe he's stoned and hearing it, and she got stoned. Maybe that's why she's telling it. But could it be the opposite? Like he's telling it, and she's crying because she's hearing him tell what happened. Could it be the reverse? And it was him.
Maybe misdirect. Who knows? It's possible. He did it the whole time trying to save him.
Protect his family.
No. Hang on. Oh, what does Van do?
She has to choose who dies.
Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, some bitch.
Oh, some bitch.
Oh, some bitch. What the hell is this? It's got like them key fingers like that one movie. What was the movie with the fucking door and the fucking red door and the fingers and the key locks with the demon and shit?
Yeah, that one.
See?
Hang on, let's go back.
Where's Miguel? He's going to be screaming that's Crystal.
So
look at Lottie. Look at Lottie welcoming this creature into their midst.
Or is it supernatural? Is it in their head?
Well, of course they eat their cannibal ways first before this thing fucking reveals itself.
I don't know. It's going to be exciting, and it'll probably leave us going, no, don't leave us
right
hanging like that.
God dang, man, that's
trippy.
Some good trailer. Giving Pan's his fingers. Yep, I can see that. Definitely. Dang, I keep clicking back on my images. I need to go back to the trailer. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely giving some weird, trippy.
This gonna be exciting.
Dang, creepy as hell. And why is it so shiny behind it? Is that the caves? Do they go back to the caves? Does Lottie go to the? Is it?
That's the rescue helicopter light, or that's the rescue light coming.
Is it? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely the way the trailer's edited. It's Lottie like looking up to this thing or whatever.
All right.
Oh, I'm so ready for this.
I can't tell where Lottie's at. It's dark outside. I can't tell if they're in the caves or just outside somewhere.
It almost looks like she's right there at the camp.
Possibly. I said I can't tell. It's
but is she the only one? You know, is this all in her head, or does other people witness it also?
Mm-hmm. It's just the sunrise, and Lottie's crazy.
Because you know the fingertip thing is definitely looks like it's like little branches, and you can see on the opposite arm over there that little branches are coming out.
Coming off of her in a way.
So it's definitely I'm the wilderness personified.
Well, see, I told you we got to get some kind of clarification. Shit, they better be popping off some fucking. Of course, they're gonna give it to us in the past with Lottie. Her ass is dead. So maybe her cult was a cult all along, worshiping this thing.
Maybe they is the company.
Maybe. A lot of questions now. Forever Autumn says, yeah, it could be another vision. Maybe Aquila goes back to the caves. Spectre says, it's the wilderness. It is. The wilderness has shown itself. We're going to get the final season finale. We're going to get a confirmation on it's supernatural or not. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I don't know. I think it'll leave us hanging.
Lottie?
I think it'll leave us hanging this season.
Oh, shit. We get to find out who killed Lottie. Maybe. Man, this is getting trippy as hell.
Possibility.
There's just too many questions. Well, not too many, but there's some good questions, and we got some good things to look forward to in this episode. Next episode. So I give this episode 9. I'm going to definitely give it like a 9.5, because I really did enjoy this week's episode. Let us know, guys, where you put it. And I'm going to go ahead and end this poll as well before I forget to do that. So it is looking like we're gonna be going with Fever Fan Art Frenzy. There you go. That'll be the name of the art contest. How about that? You guys got to choose.
Whoop, whoop.
And let's see. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna StreamYard. Highlight that real quick. Let's see. Forever Autumn says 8.25 chocolate martinis for episode 9. Ooh. I like that rating. Oh, the extra touch with the chocolate martinis. What about you guys? Where do you rate it? Miss Dana? Mr. James?
I'm up around a 9.
Nice.
Yeah. I think this episode was definitely around a 9 just for finally revealing Melissa and more of her as far as she really is evil and all that, you know. So it's kind of, even though we've only got one more episode, it's definitely setting up for the rest of the story. So still a lot of cliffhangers, still a lot of questions, still a lot of 50-50 on the supernatural or not. So I give it to the show for, you know, getting to this point, and we're still theorizing. We've still got plenty of questions. We still, you know, we're 50-50 on the thing. So I just hope it isn't stupid. You know, I'm just like, is this going to play out smart? You know, I hope it does, because I can see how it can, you know. So whether it's supernatural or not, you know, I don't care either way. I just hope it's smart and not, well, that's, you know, wasn't worth my 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, like it really didn't make sense. It was kind of like a cop out. Oh, that's really what y'all went with? Okay. No, I really hope they give us a little bit of an explanation. I'm snacking. I'm sorry, it's getting late. I got hungry. But I do hope they give us at least some sort of definitive answer on that. I mean, I guess if you leave it completely, you know, ominous at the end is okay, but I would prefer to know one way or the other, or at least what percentage of stuff was. Like, kind of how they let us know with Shauna that the when she got stuck in the cooler that was Misty. Instead of leaving it completely open to who, it could have been random or it could have just been all in her head. They kind of at least let us know one of the, like, what one of those things was. Now the brakes are still probably just old brakes, right? Possibly.
Yeah, that could still count as old brakes or, the master cylinder thing happening. But what about the phone in the bathroom? That seems like
Yeah, and
Melissa.
Melissa didn't cop to that.
Yeah, she didn't say she did it, but still somebody did.
Mm-hmm. And we know it could have been Callie, right? So who was it?
I mean, it seems like it probably was Melissa because now that she's killed Van and stuff, she's definitely total liar. I mean, you can't trust anything, so who knows about her? But Walter, like you say, I'm still on the boat of he's innocent, but he could totally be playing everybody, somehow, some way.
Right, especially now that we're at this point in the story and they haven't revealed too much about him, but he seems to be in the thick of it. They got to at least give us something on him. I would say, if not at the season finale, by the next season start, on where he stands, on if he's just kind of like a Jeff, or he's just a good guy, a little wacky in his own right, makes some mistakes, doesn't always do things right, but his heart's in the right place. Or if he's more or less conniving and he's actually part of the overall, like, whatever the fuck's going on with, if it's with Melissa or whatever. Because if it's just Callie that killed Lottie, which very well could have been an accident, then it means Lottie's death really had nothing to do with what was going on with Shauna. It was just happened to kind of happen, but it would one argue that would maybe because of what Melissa sent? Let's just say, if this Callie, and we're like, where did the letter go? Well, Callie never revealed the letter, but what was in the letter? And maybe what was in the letter got Callie to go back over there, but who was they? Because they sent her. I'm sorry, I'm talking it out. I'm trying to figure out, like, something ain't making sense here. Who was they? And why would Callie go to Lottie during that time? Other than she was just curious about things, but how did she get there? Remember, we questioned, like, who drove her there? And if it was they, who was they? The only they I know of is the cult, because we've never gotten a they before, have we?
Yeah, so if we take Callie out of it, out of the equation, what's left? Because, like, let's just say Jeff and Callie, they've already talked about it, hey, let's go home, and Mom's crazy. They're in that frame of mind. Maybe it's we can't go home if Mom's crazy and people are trying to kill us. Maybe that's why they grabbed their clothes and they're like, we got to get away from home and Mom and until things get sorted out. And it's more simple like that. So what other options do we have, or what's the other best option? If it's not Shauna, if it's not Callie, if it's not Jeff, and it could still be Dark Ty, but let's just say it's not Dark Ty. Melissa could still be the one that did it.
Well, I thought it was Melissa, and I mean, now after seeing this, it's looking like Callie, but I don't know. The fact that Melissa was around, it's not like she wasn't around. She went so far as to go to Shauna's house to personally deliver it. I mean, I don't know. It was just weird. I don't know why I get the feeling like they were trying to set Shauna up, but I mean, it could be Callie, and that would explain the DNA. And again, why was she brought there in that particular spot with Lottie? what I know Lottie was trying to get her to do or be part of this in some weird way. She gave her the necklace. And so she said it meant something greater, something different. And now we get to see our little wood lady here. So I don't know. Something's going on.
Yes. But I was just looking up Spectre's question, has Yellowjackets been confirmed for season 4? And it says, as of April 8th, 2025, Yellowjackets has not officially renewed for a season 4, but the show's creators have a plan for a 5-season arc, with season 3 making a major turning point.
It definitely is. Season 3 is definitely a major turning point. I don't know. Can't wait to see, though.
It says series creators Ashley Lyle and Bart Nickerson, along with executive producer Jonathan Lisco, originally pitched a 5-season plan to Showtime. With the survivors' final winter in the wilderness coming up, the show is clearly moving towards its endgame. If the creators stick to their 5-season plan, season 3 marks a major turning point. With the burning questions starting to be answered, viewership is likely to be high for season 3, which bodes well for a potential season 4.
We haven't got confirmed yet, but the writers seem to definitely want to go 5 seasons. So we'll have to wait and see. One episode left.
It ends with the creators. One of the creators teases in this interview that the season 3 finale and reveals a concept for how they want the series to end. So I guess they do have an idea of what they're trying to do. And this says confirmed. It was they interviewed a show person. This is not like a thingy like the other one I read. So this says confirmed by a showrunner. It was an interview.
Okay.
Just wanted to put that before I get yelled at.
It's confirmed by the show, people.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I can't wait. Right. So yeah, I can't wait to see where we end the season. In the season finale. I cannot wait till next week. And yeah. All right. Any more final thoughts, theories, anything you guys want to put out there before we close it down for the night?
I agree with Eddie. I so hope Akila is the mastermind behind all of this. You guys know I ranted about that last stream that I would so love to see Akila kind of popping up out of the woodworks like it was me all along.
It could be Mari popping up going, I'm getting y'all back for treating me so bad all that them times.
Could be. Or it could be Skunk Girl. Who knows? We've got a few contenders.
Wouldn't they smell her coming? Waka waka.
Possibly.
Like of all things to wear in the fucking wilderness, like you don't have access to shit. Why, girl? Why are you wearing a skunk around your neck? Even after they die, them shits smell even worse. We've all. I don't know if you guys have skunks out by you, but you've smelled when you pass in a fucking dead skunk. Like you're like, oh, holy crap! Like, come on, girl. Oh, you must smell so bad.
But yeah, I can't wait to see where they finish it out for us and what we get to. I said, is this going to be the end of the episode? We just get to see this. Leave us with that dang it no, or will we get to see more? I don't know. But I know I can't wait to find out who killed Lottie, and will Jeff be able to keep his sanity intact? I don't know. We'll find out though. We'll be here same time, same place next week to talk about it for sure. Again, Dana, I know we're gonna go live on her channel Thursday. We're gonna do something Friday night. I'm thinking about doing the Mystery Fever Friday night, or at least I'm gonna attempt to. If not, then we'll do another game and hangout stream. And then yeah, we'll see where the week takes us. I know I'm gonna try to do another rewatch for Severance this week, so always check out the Discord so you'll see when the events pop up, and we'll definitely I'll post something on YouTube as well, so you guys know when we get ready to watch the next couple episodes. But yeah, well, thank you guys for hanging with us tonight. You guys got anything else you want to finish with, or I want to make sure I don't forget anything, because I swear I'll do that sometimes.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right, well, that's it. That's all we got, folks. But thank you all for hanging with us again. Great theories, great conversations tonight. As always, you guys killing it. And we can't wait to see you guys next week and Thursday night at Dana's. So yeah, thanks for discussing and hanging out with us. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. And we'll see you all the next one, guys. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Paint me a scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you everything? 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing.